hello everybody. My name is Cold Warpgates. With me today is RoyalBlue. Say hello, RoyalBlue.
Hey, I'm RoyalBlue.
There you go. And we are going to kick off the playoffs cast for CPL Season 8. As you can see, we have Tier 2 between GOSU and UED. A lot of recognizable players here. I'm psyched to get into these games. How about you?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, in that case, let's just get right into it. We're going to start here. Game 1 between Inteon and JustBorisu on Butter. Here we go. Alright, in the top right of Butter, it's Tube Grub, aka Inteon, in the yellow Zerg. And in the bottom right, as always, in the blue Terran, it's Borisu.
Yeah, and we have Borisu, who's a pretty well-known Terran player, I guess, for their kind of different strategies or unique strategies.
Right. I was gonna ask you how TVZ goes on this map, but actually, I think it's with Borisu, it's going to be 3 barracks on one base into hopefully nukes.
Really? Okay. So you've witnessed the Borisu TVZ before, it sounds like.
Right.
Okay. You have the scouting info. So let's see what we see from Borisu. I'm expecting, at the tier 2 level, if you do have a build like that down, it can be very effective. Mm-hmm. So it looks like a wall coming down from Borisu.
Yeah, I think he likes this too. I mean, it seems like it's just really good on this map. Like, if you're going to do any kind of one base at all, it's nice to wall yourself off like this. Inteon, I don't know too much about their style, so I don't know if we're going to see anything too wild or just see standard Zerg. It seems... it seems like there was a third overload made a bit too early, which is definitely unfortunate, but not too bad. It's not like it's a ZVZ where if you mismanage one larva, it's game over.
Yeah, interesting. Here, Borisu looks like they're building their barracks at the wall and sending out their scout very early, so they're going to see that this is basically a little bit of a 12 hatch here from the Zerg.
Mm-hmm. Very standard. And you know what? I'm proud of these players for hosting on the right version of Butter. We have so many games this season where somebody's hosting on like an old version of Butter with like Zelnaga temples and the wrong cliffs and everything, so just genuinely appreciative of that.
Here we have the SCV and drone engaging, it looks like, a little bit in the Zerg base. So far, the SCV has not taken too much damage, and it's going to be able to scout exactly what the Zerg's doing. And it looks like the Zerg has put down a spawning pool and extractor, so it's definitely going to be like a 2-hatch play, I would say.
Yeah. 2-hatch has been like the dominant way for a while now. It seems like maybe like 2.5 hatch is becoming popular now, but like 3 hatch is not very popular anymore.
Yeah, at least in this matchup, that's definitely true. Yeah. Depending on what you see from Terran, here we do see the Overlord, the actual Overlord, is sent in here to scout the 2 racks from Borisu, so that's actually maybe part of their plan. I'm not sure, but definitely making use of this extra Overlord to see exactly what's going down. And this looks like it's going to be, maybe a 2 racks academy or even a 3 racks build. There is an SCV over here in the left side of the map, left middle, and it may be planning to proxy something or just out there to try to scout. And we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I don't know what you would like. What would you proxy out here? Like the only thing I can think would be like a starport for a dropship, maybe. But like, I don't know. Well, we'll have to find out. People in chat are asking me to start a trivia thing. I know, I think Simo does that. I don't know. Okay, guys, what's the cost of the Scout Vision upgrade? That's your trivia question today. Anyway, we'll go back to this game. So it seems like Inteon is being kind of aggressive here with these lings, which is kind of strange given that Borisu's on one base.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it looks like Inteon will be forced to put down a creep colony, and they are getting their spire up, but I do not think the mutas will be in time at all to deal with these 5 Marines moving across the map, so they do need this sunken to finish. And you're right, maybe overstepping with those links early on. And okay, here we see if Borisu is going to commit to this. It doesn't look like he will. Oh, and trying to maybe run by here, but there's a lot of lings out, so it looks like Borisu needs to retreat.
Yeah, I just realized that there's no medics with this at all, so these Marines are just going to be dead meat. They did force out a decent amount of lings and 2 sunks, which is nice, but losing all the Marines is definitely going to be a setback here for Borisu.
Yeah, and Sim is around 2/3 done, so kind of an early move out as well. It did, force out those lanes, but here we see the counterattack. Luckily, this wall is up, so the lanes will not do too much besides deny this bunker.
Well, we have Borisu moving out here again, this time with 1 medic. The lings are right here. You get scared away by these Stim Marines. The Spire is done. I don't see any mutas just yet.
Yeah, I think they're a little supply blocked right now, just waiting for Overlord to finish. It does look like the Stim scared away the lings, which I think was the correct response. Stimmed Marines are pretty scary at this time in the game, and it looks like Borisu is going for that +1 upgrade out of the engineering base, so that's going to make them, even scarier by the time these mutas come out. That being said, the mutas are getting +1 on them as well. So maybe an aggressive muta play here from Inteon.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to rely on that muta micro then if you're going to get this attack upgrade. If you want to hold back the large bioforces that we're going to see out of Borisu. I think we've seen this before where Borisu is getting a bunker in what will be the natural mineral line instead of getting turrets.
Yeah, there's one in the main as well. Yeah.
Oh, there is. Yeah, that's fine.
Kind of messed up the main mining, but that's okay. But that is like something they would do a long time ago. They don't do that very often now, I think. Kind of an old school play, I would say. But the mutas are out, it looks like, right?
I've seen some
only
in
a few
production. Yeah. I hear they
have reached the Terran base, And there are no turrets supporting those barracks, so they could be vulnerable if Terran does decide to move out with the Marines. Kind of the unfortunate part of stationing Marines in these bunkers. Borisu's Marines are kind of spread thin, I would say, throughout the base.
So, what do you think about this choice of where Zerg took their 3rd? I'm not quite sure where I should take my 3rd on this map. Right, it's a different matchup, but
yeah, I think this is fine, right? You just put some lurkers up there. Both of the bases have kind of 2 entrances, right? Unless you're maybe taking that 4th base, but then that's kind of wide, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not against taking the space. We'll see how they back it up. I think so far they've been pretty aggressive with their units. And they are going up to Hive while their Hydrogen is like halfway done. So I wonder if that even means, like, are they going lurkers here? Or are they going for fast defiler as well?
Yeah, maybe the lurkers are just going to be, like, kept in reserve in case they're needed and just try to get that tech up as soon as possible. Because, like, it's funny, like, despite getting these 3 barracks pretty quickly on one base here, Borisu actually has not been that aggressive. There was just that one push earlier.
Exactly, yeah. And these mutas are not kind of sweeping the map, and I like the way Inteon has spread the units out to kind of cover the map now and make sure there's no kind of spare Marines sneaking around.
Yeah. Definitely a nice trick here. bunker, the natural mineral finally gets to drive away these mutas. Yeah, there's not much like undefended ground here for Inteon to take advantage of in this space, but like
yes,
BoriSu has also spent a lot of money on these bunkers and turrets.
Yeah, you're right. It's a very turtled up Terran right now, right? Like you can't poke away with mutas really. I think they need Dark Swarm if they're going to try to bust this, and so or potentially Guardians, and it looks like they are going for Guardians here and Markers, so that's kind of interesting. There is no real starport. There's one about 1/3 done. So that's going to be really what you counter Guardians with. So kind of a late timing here. It's going to be on par with the Greater Spire finishing.
Yeah, but does BoriSu know? Like, if BoriSu doesn't like get a Wraith or something, I mean, you might have like 1 or 2 vessels that don't have the energy to irradiate against these Guardians if they show up as soon as possible. Trying to see where the scan went. Looks like the scan was going to the left third, which is not taken yet.
Kind of whiffed, yeah.
But this map, I mean, just the position, like this cliff with the big area behind the natural mineral line is pretty good for Guardians.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and if you think about it, you could even station some, kind of near the third base as well. Yeah. And that's not a bad spot either.
The Greater Spire is done. Inteon might be trying to find the right position here to morph these Guardians. Trying to figure out what kind of countermeasures Terran has.
And getting in with the mutas to, pick away at the starport. And I think the timing on this starport is going to help them decide, like, how many Guardians are they going to make right now. But again, maybe a little supply block here. I don't know why they aren't morphing Guardians.
Yeah, I feel like might be missing the window of opportunity here with this Greater Spire. Like, we did manage to cancel one of the starports, which is pretty nice.
Like, really during this time, Zerg could be, like, taking another base easily. BoriSu hasn't really had any map presence, like you said, since, like, maybe very early on the game.
Ooh, some lurkers running in here, but just a handful of them, and they are going to get detected in front of these bunkers. Oh, and the Overlord, the micro-Overlord for the mutas, wanders too close as well. But we do finally have the Guardians morphing. Yes. It's all 10 of these mutas are morphing. And a Radiate is just going to be done. Like, so we might have, like, 1 vessel with the energy for 1 cast here.
Yeah, that's... it'd be enough if they got the Radiate off right now, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop these Guardians in general. I always worry about morphing just straight up 10 Guardians. Like, wouldn't you want, like, 1 or 2 mutas at least to chase the vessel? But that's just me. Maybe they're sending Scourge. Yeah, it looks like they've got 2 Scourge on the way. And they're continuing to build, it looks like, Hydras. And they are taking a 4th base, so that's very good. It looks like this is going to cause some havoc over on BoriSu's side of the map.
Man, the dumb Guardians, even though they have, like, half again the range of a turret, they still manage to wander into it.
They are microing pretty well. Yeah.
And trying to set this up here. There we go. Here comes this vessel. Does have the energy for 1 Irradiate. Trying to unstack that Guardian. Does manage to pull it off. And now what can BoriSu do? I mean, that one cast of the Irradiate was pretty much it.
That was a very sad Irradiate right there. And now what does the vessel do? It has 15 mana, so we're going to have a while before it can get another Irradiate off, and the Scourge are over here. So what is BoriSu going to do? Maybe counterattack, it looks like? Or try to take on these Guardians head-to-head? And the first vessel goes down. So now, it looks like BoriSu is sending their Marines out on the map to try to get a counterattack off.
Yeah. But there's a ton of links coming out here. We do have a few lurkers at these bases. Like, I don't think that Terran would win a base trade right now.
Yeah, the Zerg has definitely defended their bases very well, and they kept lurkers back, so I definitely don't think there is an opening for BoriSu. It looks like BoriSu building another science vessel, and actually trying to expand over here to the middle left.
Wow. Guardians, though, they're just tearing up this base. That vessel does get up, but the starport is going to go down immediately. The Terran army is now outside the natural of Inteon, so Borisu needs this to do a ton of damage. He wants to stay in this game. The Lings do get chewed up away from any lurkers or sunkens.
You know, I don't think there's any lurkers at this nat, so
Yeah.
maybe if there was enough medics, there's a potential, but I just don't think it's going to happen here. Lurkers are morphing, so they're about halfway done. I think Borisu needs to go now if they're going to do any damage here. And meanwhile, yeah, their barracks are just getting pummeled by these Guardians. So they're trying to construct a starport over here in the top right of their base, and they're still massing vessels. They've got one irradiate left. But they're not really going for it. They've got one tank over at the Zerg Nat. They're trying to range down the Sunkens. But here's even one Ultralisk, and a few Lurkers come out into the fight. Oh, the tank survives.
Oh, there's no scan on the Lurkers. There we go. They are finally detected, but they get a decent amount of damage done on that bio ball.
Yeah, taking out a very good amount of Marines there at the end. So these Ultralisks, which we see Zerg has now started massing, are going to start engaging with this kind of weakened bio ball, and it looks like they're going to be enough to clean it up. And meanwhile, the Guardians are just cleaning up the Terran base, you know, kind of building by building. So Borisu, I feel like it's only a matter of time before they're kind of, you know, either forced out of the game. They are trying to build a Wraith over here in the middle, and hopefully that could be enough maybe to take out some Guardians.
Yeah, there's no Scourge or Mutas here to defend the Guardians, but pretty sure it's too little too late here with this Wraith. Oh, look, the Wraith is irradiated. It's the Wraith Eraser. Oh my god.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one.
No, I don't think I've ever seen a Wraith be irradiated in my life. These Ultras, even though they are unupgraded, they're still pretty good against SCVs.
Yeah, this one bunker, though, is the last stand of the Terran command here, being repaired by the SCVs.
Wow, these SCVs are killing Ultralists. Terran really is
SCVs are pretty good.
Yeah.
There's one Guardian left. We don't have any Irradiate, however. And I think that Wraith did go down in the fight.
Yeah, the Wraith was shot down by a few Hydras. Just one Guardian left with 10 kills, and we have these Ultras and the Lings in here. I think we should be able to finish this up. Bunkers are pretty good. I don't know if they're this good.
Yeah, and Terran actually does have quite a bit of money, but it's going to be difficult for them to spend it, considering they have basically no production left except for some starports.
Oh, we got another Wraith here.
But they could repair this bunker for a long time, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's actually happening right now. Well, we got the Wraith in the bunker. We can stay in the game. We still got a chance. Dude, I think you actually can't kill a Terran player. Like, you can like convince them to leave the game, but like you can't actually kill them.
With enough defilers like that, you can kill anything, I think. Right?
We do finally have adrenal glands coming. Just more waves of these units coming in here. I like how Borisu has 2 starports and nothing else, and he's still making a science facility and 2 control towers. Like, literally just gonna only have vessels.
Well, they're building some racks over here in the middle left, so maybe they're trying to psych out their opponent. But it looks like some Scourge are running over there, and so during flyby, it looks like they spotted Borisu's hidden base, and I think that's kind of going to be the end of the game here. Borisu really doesn't have a way back. Maybe if they got this base operational, they could continue fighting. But they mined out of the main, you know, so...
Yeah. Well, the Lings are here at the hidden base. Another bunker desperately trying to get up, but I don't think it's going to have time to do it.
This is a campaign mission right here. That's what this looks like. Yes. Here we go.
Just survive for 30 minutes. Here we got the triple G from Borisu, and Inteon is going to take the first game here. Let's get ready for game 2.
I'm definitely ready for game 2.
Gonna go to good night.
That was a good one, I think.
Yeah.
Borisu definitely played it out, which I think is the move in game one of a best of three. So I'm not against that strategy.
Yeah, and like it is the playoffs, so like.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to
quit
let your team down, basically. Yeah.
All right.
So here we are in good night, and so Borisu's going to be looking to bounce back from that first defeat. I don't know if they will switch up their strategy though. It seems like they are kind of into that, two racks academy on one base.
Yeah, I think Bruce has been doing that literally all season. Now, the one thing is that I don't think you can wall off nearly as easily on this map. The ramps are really big on the space tile.
That's very true. Yeah. But I don't think if I was the Zerg, I don't think I would be aggressive here and try to early cool. But maybe we'll see that.
Now, last time we saw the extra Overlord to make up for the Overlord sack, I want to see if that was intentional or not. Like, if we see that again, that'll be some big brain play right there.
Yeah. I wonder if it's worth it, really, sacrificing that much kind of minerals and, like you said, the early larva. But you do get the scouting, so, it's a trade-off, definitely.
Well,
I guess if you know,
sorry to cut you off. We have this depot in the natural. Is this like a sign of like a really early command center? Or is this just
be right? I don't really know what this is a sign of. It could be an early command center. It could just be some city getting started right away.
Yeah. If this was PvT, it would definitely be like a gasless expand or something.
Yeah, to me, it just looks very exposed if there was, like you said, that early pool. Yeah. Now you no longer have that ramp to defend. Like you said, it's kind of a wide area to wall, but it's actually not so bad if you have some SCVs on this ramp. However, where Borisu has built his barracks, it's going to be vulnerable to links here.
There's no early pool. It is just another 12 hatch, and there is no spare overlords. So that might have just been a misclick in the first game. We had that pull coming. We have a drone scout from Inteon, but this overlord is going to get into the main of Terran first, I think.
Yeah, Borisu scouted the wrong way, and it's actually not double scouting with this kind of racks into fast gas. So this is a very dangerous play from Terran, actually, that if there was, like you said, that early pull, they would be dead.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be mech?
Yes. It's either going to be mech or it's going to be some kind of Wraith play, right? So we'll see what Borisu has in store for us. But this is very early gas, right? And they've only got one barracks. So I do think they're going to build a factory here.
With this early gas, it looks like Inteon's going to go for that 2-hatch again. And the 2-hatch Mino went pretty good for Zerg in the first game. There wasn't like too much opportunity to do damage in the Terran base, but obviously those Guardians made a big difference at the end of the game. Oh, the Overlord, though, might get picked off. Pretty brave here going this far into the Terran main. And there's no spare Overlord this time, so Inteon is going to be supply blocked here.
Kind of unfortunate. Yeah. Definitely wish they had built that spare Overlord now. And we do see the factory go down for Borisu now that they've kind of staved off that Overlord. So that's going to show, we're just waiting. It looks like Borisu's still mining gas and going to put up that expand. Borisu actually, as well, building over 4 Marines. And not even really dropping a CC, even though they have the resources. Wow, a second factory goes down. So this is like a TVP build.
Yeah,
This is like out here.
Like a fake out bunker to make them think that you're expanding and you actually are to factory. By the way, we got a follow from Vec Clapson. Thank you for doing that. Good to have you on. See, the lair is almost done here for Zerg. I'm sure we're going to see that spire done as soon. But see the spire thrown down as soon as the lair is finished. And with this armory, I think it is going to be some kind of Goliath build. I remember like a few seasons ago, it was like every TVZ in CPL was the Goliath build, but it's been kind of off the radar for a while and just sprinkled in there every now and then.
Yeah, you definitely have to build some Goliaths if you're going to go factories like this, because as you said, the Spire is on the way, so mutas will be out for the Zerg. Until that time, though, there may be a time for these vultures to maybe get aggressive. So that's where Brisu has built 2 vultures already. And they're going to be enough, I think, with Micro to kill these 6 lings. And then he's going to run into these creep colonies that will turn into Sunkens here, potentially.
Yeah, with the Goliaths in production next. So, gonna try to get those up in time to stop the mutas from running amok.
Yeah, as well as +1 attack, which is very good. But you would also want an engineering bay here because, yeah, we're gonna see mutas very fast. But the vultures have first forced back those lings, and they're gonna see that there's no third base for Zerg just yet.
Yeah, with 2 songs here, there's no chance of these vultures actually running into the Zerg main and killing a bunch of drones or anything. But they're still useful. They're gonna force the lings back into the base. They're gonna check all these potential third locations.
Yeah,
helps to get.
They could get behind the net mineral line, maybe.
Maybe
The way the Sunkens are positioned, that would be a nice play, but very maybe risky. Definitely nice to keep those vultures alive.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, these factories aren't even rallied, so the Goliaths are just hanging out right in front of them.
I like it, yeah, just mask the Goliaths, and it doesn't even look like they need an engineering bay because the mutas are not out just yet. Here's the CC going down, so they've got 4 Goliaths. Hopefully that's enough to kind of buy them enough time to get some turrets up. I don't see an engineering bay at all, though.
No, I don't.
Range is almost done, which is good.
Yeah, but I'm worried, like, if there are too many mutas, like, they can just jump on 4 Goliaths, right? Like,
Yeah, with only 2 factories as well in production, it's going to be difficult to really match, 2 hatches of mutas.
We'll see here. I don't know if I've seen Brisu go for this Goliath build before. I think this is, like, kind of like a beginner's mistake, though, because, like, you expect that, oh, yeah, I can kill mutas with Goliaths, but not really. Not if the Zerg, like, really leans on the mutas early. You need the turrets to survive, and then, like, the Goliath range, like, punishes them for poking around in your base. But I don't know if we're going to see Inteon commit that hard.
Well, like right now, 6 against 7,
Yeah.
It's definitely a fight Brisu can win, so Inteon has to retreat. However, if Inteon had gone just for the resource line, gone for the minerals, they could have easily taken out some SCVs because there is no turrets defending them.
Yeah.
So Brisu is now able to kind of survive for the time being, but it's going to be difficult for them to, saturate both these bases if the mutas continue to harass without missile turret defense. But we'll see. Maybe Brisu is going to be able to put on some pressure with these 4, first group of Goliaths and keep the mutas pinned back. And it looks like Zerg is trying to take a third base here.
But we're seeing, it looks like Terran is going back into bio. Like, we're seeing Stim and a second barrack. This is like really, really old build. Like, get the Goliaths to defend against mutas, but still go bio.
Yeah, it's pretty much like biomech, right? You're back-teching it to bio. It can be strong if they continue to stay on mutas, right? Because Marines with medics actually trade pretty well with mutas, and the Goliaths as well with range do a good job of forcing the mutas to engage. And it looks like he's kind of revealed it here a little bit, showing this medic, I think. And as well, with no turrets, the SCVs are forced to retreat from the Nat mineral line for Borisu, and that's kind of denying mining here for a while.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another bunker in the natural mineral line, but the mutas are not giving it time to get up here. Quick work of this Marines as well. The Goliaths are going to have the range to force mutas away, but this is going pretty well here for Inteon.
Yeah, definitely. That was some nice muta control, definitely picking away at a lot of the bio that Borisu has been accumulating. And it looks like now the Goliaths are in the Nat for Terran, so maybe Inteon could sneak into the main, but it looks like they are still kind of camping, around the middle, or the middle on the right, so. Yeah. It looks like Inteon, seeing this bio play, has made a good decision to go into Hydras, maybe?
Yeah. These lurkers. Or actually, no, not even lurkers, just straight up Hydras. Like, we're getting the Hydra speed upgrade here. Interesting.
Yeah, I actually don't know about that. I was expecting lurkers definitely, because lurkers will counter both the bio and the Goliaths, I think. But Hydras is not a bad choice. Maybe going Hydra Muta, perhaps? Yeah, it looks like Hydra Muta. So staying on this lair tech, getting +1 on the attack for ranged Zerg units.
Yeah, we do finally have the classic 10-minute eBay here.
Yeah, same timing as that science facility finishes.
Yeah. Good to get those upgrades working. And the Queen's Nest is coming for Zerg, so Hive Tech is going to be shortly on the way. We have a 4th base coming up for Zerg. I feel like Zerg is feeling pretty comfortable here, being up on supply, up on workers. Kind of an unconventional tech choice from Borisu, but it hasn't really done anything with it. It's basically been stuck in his base the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's just been these muta control from the Zerg player has just forced Borisu into such a defensive posture.
Yeah.
Borisu now going for the irradiate, so maybe that will be able to allow them to counter the mutas, but I think by that time Inteon will have a bunch of Hydras out, and 4 bases, so I think Borisu needs to kind of strike now, perhaps, but there is just a massing of Hydras going on over on the Zerg side, and a massing of hatches as well, so the longer this game goes, the more production Zerg is just adding on.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's optical flare being researched. Oh my god. Alright, now I don't care about anything else. I just want to see how this optical flare works. Like, I want to see, like, there's not even any, like, cloak units, so you can't do, like, the big brain, like, blind all the overlords and kill them to raise.
Yeah.
Well, the mutas are back in the main. Despite the eBay, there's still no turrets, but the Goliaths are going to do some damage here. The mutas are going to go down.
So there is a good amount of Goliaths, and they are going to be at 1-1 here pretty soon. Maybe that will be the timing with Irradiate for the Terran to move out.
Maybe.
They're building a bunch of turrets in the main. They're going to need to take another base.
Yeah, the main is getting pretty low here. A few Hydras run into the Terran Natural to donate their lives, but oh my god, look outside the Zerg base. There's so many Hydras. Like, I feel like there's just so many Hydras they can just move over the Terran army right now.
Well, medics are pretty good, actually, but you're right. You're right. I think we're going to need some tanks, which it looks like Breezer is going for some tanks, and perhaps Siege Mode could be very effective, but you're right. This is a lot of Hydras. Perhaps maybe 60 Hydras, it looks like so. Here we go. It looks like they're going to start engaging here. The Hydras maybe not on attack move. Okay, oh, no. Now they are going. Well, I think you were right. Yeah, the Hydras are just rolling over this Terran army. No siege or anything, and Borisu now leading the game.
Oh man, not a single optic flare was cast, unfortunately. Inteon is going to take this series 2-0, and that's going to be the first match going to Team GOSU. So let's update that score on the overlay, and then we'll get into our next series, which is going to be iRk-ocoini against ocelotter. He's going to be another TVZ. hold on a minute. This is the wrong map for game 1. We're gonna get out of this one and go back to butter. Yeah. I'm gonna assume that the games were played on the right maps and the app just got confused because that's happened a few times this season. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, we're back on butter. In the top right in the gray zerg is ocelotter for Team UED, and at the bottom right in the purple Terran is ocoini for Team GOSU. Now, I can't imagine we're going to see the same builds here from these players as we saw in the first series.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this Terran plays things out. Mm-hmm. Definitely, Borisu kind of maybe affected the game with their kind of unorthodox strategies. So we'll see if they as well play a little differently, or how exactly their style is. We'll see. It looks like they are going for that wall as well.
Oh my god!
So
it's the same build.
Already similarity.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. So, how do you approach TVZ on this map?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the wall is very strong, so go for that. That way you don't die to links, that's what I think. Then the next thing I do is I do go for factories. So I like to play mech, and I think it is strong on this map just because it's not particularly big, and the chokes, there are like a few that you can kind of shut down with siege tanks. But we'll see how they play. It doesn't look like they're well, here they are building a barracks, so this could be a mech play still.
You'll see plenty of time for the build to shape up. Looks like a 12 hatch from ocelotter, so standard from the Zerg.
Yeah, and Terran kind of sneaking their SCV over here to the top left, so I wonder what they're up to.
Yeah, we saw this. This is looking eerily similar to the first year. So we had the same SCV running on here. It looks like maybe it's checked for the fast third. Could be like a proxy factory or something, but...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but they don't have a gas just yet.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. So maybe they were just checking up there for a base.
Oh, the SCV building the barracks, rotates the wrong way, gets bullied by the drone, but there's a replacement SCV to help finish that up.
Yeah, that's kind of the unfortunate part about walling. You do have to kind of defend your SCVs out there in the front. But it looks like they've done a great job of kind of microing that first SCV. And now they've got Marine on the way, so they're no longer kind of worried about drones. And they can see that the spawning pool is, you know, just now finishing up, so they don't have to worry about lanes either for a while. And it looks like they're going to scout, hopefully, this third hatch that Zerg has put down. Yeah.
So weird. I guess I was talking about how how 3-hatch builds are not that popular anymore, but here we go. We have ocelotter bringing it out. Back in the day, like 3-hatch lurker, I think was like super popular in CPL. It's like much easier to pull off, and like when you're dealing with like lag from playing people across the world, it's a lot easier to deal with lurkers than mutas. Still a chance that this will be 3-hatch muta, of course, but I'd like to see that lurker focus play come out again.
Yeah, I'm not really a Zerg player, but you would think lurkers are easier to use against Marine Medic than mutas would be. But so far, there is no lair tech even on the way.
So yeah, that gas is getting up. There we go. Lair
okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I think that's on time, actually. 4 minutes for the 3-hatch lair, so that's just fine. And it looks like factory plate from ocoini.
Oh yeah, I should have said you're both in IRK. Do you have any special insight to this player? But
You know, I actually don't have that much insight into them. So it looks like they are going for that expand and actually sending out quite a few SCVs, perhaps to build a wall out here. They're already constructing one bunker. Maybe just worried about those initial lings. It would be, oh wow, and there's actually quite a few lings already on the map. So it looks like maybe 12 out for reserve. As well as a hydrogen. So it looks like you were definitely spot on
let's
that
go.
prediction.
Let's
yeah.
go. That's exciting. The thing is, like, mech against lurkers is pretty funny because, like, if you have detection of the lurkers, like, your mech units just kind of outrange the lurkers, but mech delays their detection for a while. So if Terran doesn't figure it out, they might just walk over a huge field of lurkers.
Yeah, it's definitely like kind of a hit or miss, right?
Yeah.
So if you're able to scout the lurkers and you get the correct tech, it's no problem. And it looks like they've already constructed a wall, so they're going to be safe against these Zerglings for now. It's just going to be a matter of, do they get any scouting more to see that these lurkers are on the way, or are they going to be completely surprised by this? Because if they are surprised, you know, these vultures that they're producing right now are not going to do it. They're going to need tanks, you know?
Yeah.
Here's the academy. So the academy's going down, which is very good timing, I would say, considering. It's interesting because, yeah, as you said, like, there's no turrets in this game either, which you'd think Mutas would be out, you know, in a few, you know,
yeah, like,
maybe 30 seconds, right? So I'm interested that, yeah, continuing to produce vultures, getting mines here. It seems like they've actually predicted maybe a Hydra play.
Well, yeah, see the first couple Hydras come out. We see the missile attacks. Oh, and I was about to ask if lurker attack is done, and you see lurkers morphing here, so it certainly is.
Yeah, and it looks like a dropship actually being produced from the starport. So this could do a lot of damage because there is no spire. And there's really nothing in between their bases. If you look at it on the minimap, it's all black. So there's a chance for this dropship to, like we said, if you go straight for the Zerg main.
Yeah, here we go. Here it comes.
Kind of going through the middle of the map. It may actually be scouted this way. It looks like it's headed right for some.
Oh no! Yeah, you pretty much want to hug like the right edge of the map, right? And this Overlord from ocelotter is going to see the dropship. The question is, was ocelotter looking at the minimap when that happened? We don't see any kind of reaction in the base here. No drones being pulled, no units being sent back. This dropship is going to be completely unopposed here in the main.
Yeah, this could do a lot of damage if it does unload, and the vultures start shooting at the drones. And so here they go. So what's the reaction going to be like for Zerg? It looks like this is actually in the middle of their attack. They do pull.
Oh my god, Spider Mine's trigger on Larva? Are you serious?
Yeah,
I had
like
no idea.
That's whole build.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Wow, that's busted as hell there. The explosions got a few drones, but like a few eggs, and Larva went down. Nice play with the vultures. Sunks and the Nashville are going to defend that, but the main is basically shut down for now.
Yeah, the link's being sent back, and it looks like the last vulture does go down to its own mine.
But meanwhile, outside the Terran base, lurkers have busted through a bit of this wall. One of the bunkers is down. Turrets are going up. We do have the scanners if the lurkers get into a dangerous position, and we have siege tanks up. With this turret finishing, surely Terran's going to be safe for a while here.
Yeah, Terran has played this perfectly, I think. They got to drop off into the main. They killed a lot of workers. They killed a lot of larvae, as you said. And now they've got these tanks to defend against the lurkers. And they've got exactly the tech they need. They have missile turrets. They have comsats. So now you can't really push into this position anymore if you're Zerg until you get, you know, some other kind of tech out. So it looks like they're going for a Spire. They're trying to upgrade their, you know, ranged attack again. They may need to take a third base here.
No, we have another drop coming out. This one with a tank and two vultures. Spire coming up for Zerg. Hopefully get some Scourge, deal with these dropships. Third base started. But Terran is looking pretty strong here. Even still getting a Radiate, despite our heavy mech. So definitely going to be in the position to deal with any kind of Muta switch from the Spire. Nice drone pull from ocelotter, getting drones out of there before any of them go down, but still has to deal with this tank and these vultures. The Sim City like is gonna help Zerg and hurt Zerg here. You make it harder to get to this tank. These mines are in the smart path. You're gonna deal with.
Yeah, I was actually kind of at first questioning the use of this tank out here in the drop, but maybe it's gonna work out with these mines. It looks like the vultures are being microed pretty well. And if the tank survives this, it can actually take down a building here. Oh, and here's one Muta.
Yeah.
Shut this whole thing down.
Wow. Well, the tank is abandoned by the dropship. Doesn't bother to go pick it up. Tank gets some decent damage down on the Hydra Den, but not enough to kill it. We have a few Mutas being built here, and some Scourge in production.
Okay, and this is the perfect play from Terran. Now they're just switching right into Goliath. They already have Science Vessel with Irradiate, so these Mutas are not going to really scare them. They have plenty of missile turrets. They're getting their upgrades going. And then now it's time. They're moving out.
Ooh, the
first
vessel! That's a big deal. We do have scanners, but it's going to make it that much harder to deal with these lurkers.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they're actually retreating here, but they are sending a group of vultures out onto the map, so that's going to be great, as it looks like they're scanning this top left base. And here they are engaging with the creep colony, and now killing the first two Hydras. And these drones are all going to die.
Or get turned into sunks, I guess, while they're focus them down, yeah.
Oh.
I just try to defend,
Well,
but they run into those mines.
Yeah. Nice play to lay mines like that, actually. Taking out all the Hydras with the vultures.
Ocoini has been playing the micro tournament. You gotta lay those mines super fast. Back at home, it seems like Terran is still being soft contained by these lurkers. With the replacement vessel coming up soon. Doesn't seem to want to use these scans. Like, both scanners are pretty full here. There we go. We do have some more scans going down.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just seeing that Zerg is still on lair and seeing that the third is basically not saturated and knowing that they're on two bases. They don't even need to do anything.
Yeah.
Other thing is, building this many dropships has really limited their science vessel count, so then losing that first vessel, you know, is like so critical. And now I think they built two dropships, or is this just their first dropship?
I think it might still be the first dropship. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It is headed back out there with two vultures, two Goliaths. Scourge just watching it go by. Oh no! There's even like there's Mutas and Scourge
scattered. Yeah.
They just don't even. Oh my god! Here we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. We were waiting for it, and Zerg does take it out, so that was excellent play there, not getting dropped a third time.
The vessel's been rebuilt, and this mech army here is finally out on the map, and it's looking pretty scary. There's not a whole lot here for Zerg on the ground.
Definitely, yeah. And this is a good number of siege tanks as well. So if they do siege up, they can deal with these lurkers or Hydras relatively easily. And it looks like Terran is going to need to take another base, however, as they are going to mine out pretty soon. But they could just do a death push here, it looks like.
Yeah, it's these Zerg units are a bit scattered here. They're getting picked off in small groups, and that's not going to be enough to deal with this big push. Terran's getting set up here outside of the Zerg Natural, definitely in a threatening position. There's a few lurkers here, but they're already bruised up. This vessel is going to help with it.
Yeah, I think Zerg needed to really group their units up and try to engage this army at one time. It looks like they've kind of you know, engage this army in small units or in small numbers, and it's really kind of not been enough to kill any of these tanks. And the mines have been put in pretty good places now that it's going to be hard for Zerg to engage this. Now they're going into a muta switch, though. Maybe that could work if they overwhelm this Goliath force and they cut off reinforcements, maybe.
Yeah, you can see the thought. It's just that I feel like there's just too many Terran units, but that tactic could work. The front is already being sieged down. This hatchery is going to go down. These sunks are in danger as well. A few Hydras wander right now. We do have a decent amount of Goliaths. I heard an irradiate somewhere else, but I think just these Goliaths might be enough. Oh, it's really close, but it might be.
Here's the irradiate, though.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there it goes. Yeah. Actually, pretty good split, though.
Nice split.
And yeah, there's only 5-4 mutas left now, though, and there is enough Goliath to deal with this, I think. And this is just a nice position for Terran to be in. They have the tanks all the way outside the Zergnet. They're going to be able to siege down this Sunken. They have a third base and even a fourth CC on the way.
Yeah, those mutas I think like were the best shot for Zerg.
Yeah,
there's just a few too many Goliaths.
Yeah, that was the last gasp, I think, just switching it to mutas here, but definitely good play by Terran to be prepared for it and move out with the correct number of Goliaths to protect their tanks. And now the Hydras are coming in with one more attack. Able to take out a few tanks, maybe? Nope. GG.
Ocelotter is going to tap out, and that's going to get the first game to Ocoini. Looking good for Team GOSU again here in this second series. Let's head back to that good night, man. Oh, I should actually create the lobby. There we go. Oh, yeah, it's up now. There we go. Alright, here in the top right, good night once again in the purple Terran is iRk-ocoini for Team GOSU. In the bottom left, fighting for the honor of the UED, it's the Grey Zerg ocelotter. Ooh, look at how early this SCV is going out. For me. Wait, it's turning around? What? What is this? It's like got cold feet. Look, they're like, I want a BBS. Never mind. I'll play a macro game.
Yeah, I think that was a little early even to BBS, really.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit of a misclick? I'm not sure.
Well, okay, here we go. Yeah.
Here we go.
I guess that was it. Slightly too early on that SCV. Incredible.
So this is an 8 Rex.
8 Rex. Okay, so not as quite as meme. What? No. All right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Again, eerily similar to the Borisu game, where Borisu also walled off in the same position.
Yeah, I think this one will be a better wall than what Borisu is doing, but we'll see. I think this one will actually be completed with a bunker, with a Rax and another depot to be linked tight. Let's see if Terran does complete the wall, though. They are sending their first SCV out after building one depot, which is really interesting.
I've got another SCV center here.
Yeah, maybe just very wanting to scout with his first SCV very quickly to see any early poolers, perhaps. But they are gonna, it looks like, at least complete the SimCity. And here's the early hatch for Zerg. So, and the spawning pool goes down.
Yeah, and the gas is very early. It's not going to be another 3-hatch build from ocelotter.
Yeah. So the 3-hatch lurker build didn't really work out, right? It didn't catch them by surprise. Maybe they're thinking 2-hatch Muta could counter if they go for this kind of vulture tank play again.
Yeah, I feel like if you expect your opponent to go mech, it's a brave choice to open up with lurkers.
Yeah, definitely. You'd want to, I don't know, hope the lurkers do damage, right? Yeah, I don't think this is link tight here, what Terran has constructed, but we'll see.
Yeah, we need Nebline here to have a rhyme for the decks.
Well, no. The racks with the depots above does work, right? Depot above, it's like a glove. That's what the lines
yeah.
But I wonder if this racks at the bottom rolls with that, kind of clip edge. Looks like the drone is denied for now, so maybe. Yeah, there's the layer going down, and this, to me, looks like Muta's. I don't think the old SCV for Terran really got in to see it, but did they?
No, it just kind of went to the natural, and then went back to build a proxy eBay. What the hell? I assume they're gonna like float this in here to scout.
Yeah,
but that's so weird. I guess it's not gonna be mech if you get the eBay this early, right?
No, I think you can definitely do it because you're going to float it to scout, right? So you're not going to be upgrading from it.
Oh, true.
So you're using it as a tech building to build turrets. So we'll see if he does float it over there. I'm assuming that's what it's for. And then hopefully they float it into the main or wherever the spire is and see it. And then they're also going to have it ready to build the turrets, you know?
Okay.
But the spire is being built on the complete opposite side of the base.
Yeah, to dodge the flying in eBay, of course. Like,
continue marine production past 4, though. And, yeah, it looks like maybe a second factory going down, perhaps.
There we go. Again, just like the Borisu game. This is so weird.
Yeah.
No,
that's a new meta.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the eBay flying in here like it's a TVT. Let's see what's going on here in the base of Zerg. It's going to take a while before it finds that spire.
Yeah, when it does find the spire, I wonder if it'll be too late. There is no eBay. Well, okay, there's the eBay. There's no armory, is what I was trying to say. So that's going to stop Goliath production. So if you're just relying on missile turrets, like that's going to save you, at least at your resource line, if you have a few, right? But it's not going to allow you to pressure the map at all. Here's the armory, so it's 1/3 done. And it looks like going for vultures first, which is strong, I think. I would use this time to maybe get mines out as well.
Yeah, and the eBay does reveal that spire finally.
Nice. Okay, so they get the scouting info that they wanted. Which I feel like they maybe were able to see that just with the layer and predict, but that's good. They know exactly what Zerg is up to. So this was, I think, a very nice play from Terran.
Yeah, I can't even think of the last time I saw something like that, like in this matchup, building the eBay out here, just flying it in. Nice way to get some intel. Especially after the Zerg went for an unusual build in the first game. I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah. And even this SimCity, I think, would be strong if there was a lurker play or some kind of aggression from Zerg, but it doesn't look like we're seeing any of that. We're just going to see straight up 2-hatch mutas. So here come the mutas. And the Zerglings are actually trading fairly well against these initial vultures. The mutas will make it over here in time, I think, to take out this first vulture.
Yeah, this is not what you want with these vultures. Like, you want the vultures to try to push the Zerg back to their base, but they do get cleaned up outside of the Terran base. Mutas driven off by those turrets. Only 4 mutas. Not going to find too much opportunity for damage, but...
Yeah, if they get this first Goliath, though, that could be good. That's really what you want. If you can limit the Goliath count here in the early game, it can kind of snowball for the mutalist, but it doesn't look like they are going to get it. Yeah, and a very sufficient number of turrets being produced by Terrans, so that's going to help them out. Doesn't look like they're mining too much from the nat gas.
I'll go up to 3 factories, getting a starport. I feel like it's unusual to get the starport that early with a mech build, but we saw those vessels come in pretty handy in game 1.
Yeah. I wonder if this is meaning they're going to go for really fast upgrades, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we saw the drops be pretty effective. Although
that's true.
Now that there's already a decent amount of mutas, it's gonna be hard to pull those drops off, and the eBay does finally go down.
Yeah, it does see the Hydra and the Evo, so I think this is a sign that those Hydras are on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if this will signal. Wow, Terran's dropping a second starport actually.
Ooh. Yeah, we have St. Jersey asking if we might be seeing the Valkyries here, which would be interesting. We don't see a science facility, but we have the armory, and we're getting a control tower on the starport, so we might actually be seeing some Valkyries.
I think you're right. Chat, on top of it here.
Chatcraft.
But they are supply blocked, however, for the time being. These mutas are, kind of doing their job, wreaking havoc over the Terran base, but they are taking a lot of damage. And
Ooh,
here's the science facility, which is...
here we go. Dang, might just see boring old science vessels. The third base is done for Zerg at the 9 o'clock. A few drones heading out there. And it is just going to be vessels. We have Irradiate. Boring.
Yeah, boring, but a little more standard. I like to see it. Irradiate will do wonders against this muta clumped up like this. And I think, Zerg actually has quite a few drones, so they're not in such a bad position here.
Mm-hmm.
They're switching into Hydras. They've got their, ranged attack going again.
Oh my god, the Kakaru just got picked off.
Oh no.
Ocoini, you monster. The Goliath just all annihilated.
It's over. Zerg's winning now.
The Screaming Bird. Yeah. Zerg is now the good guy by default. Unbelievable. Like sometimes like 1 or 2 minutes into the game, I just see the wings of the Kakaru and I'm like, oh god, a Mutalisk, how is that possible?
Yes.
But
yes.
So maybe that's what happened. Just a snap reaction.
Also, when your scout sees it early on, for me,
yeah, on the mini map, I'm like, wait, what is he doing there? Like, why is there an enemy unit there?
Here we go. It looks like the Goliaths are moving out, though. Oh, maybe not.
They're thinking about it.
I think this would be a good timing, but there is a good amount of Hydras, and if they camp on this high ground, they could perhaps deny this Goliath force.
These Goliaths are like me trying to ask a girl to dance. Like, you start walking over, like, nah. And then you get the courage up, and you walk halfway across, like, nah.
Yeah, right now they're just kind of playing hard to get with the Zerg.
Exactly. If you just come in here, there's a huge arc on these Goliaths. Very nice. And there's another floating eBay. But this time it's more in a defensive position. There's a few Hydras here waiting on the high ground, but I think there's there's a lot of Hydras here, and with the high ground, I might be able to...
There's a lot of Goliaths, too.
Two big Irradiates.
Yeah, and it looks like Queens are on the way for this Zerg, but I think they're going to be too late, and there isn't really any tanks anyway.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just mass Goliath. However, there's...
All the mutas
Terrans retreating.
Yeah. All the mutas are dead, and the Hydras do not stop the Goliaths from retreating, so... It's still pretty precarious for both sides, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to say who has the advantage. I like that the Terran is setting up for another base, which is going to allow them to kind of play into the mid to late game. They are sending some vultures over here as well to try to harass this base. I don't think they're going to get too much done as there is some suckers up there. But these mines could be effective, taking out a Hydralisk.
Yeah, his mines are getting some good value here.
And here's Terran taking the opportunity to try to take that middle high ground with their Goliath Force now that they've kind of lured some Hydras away. These Hydras on the high ground, though, are treated very well.
Some nice value from that mischance, but Terran does take the position here in the middle of the map. We are starting to see tanks be produced here, definitely going to help against these Hydra numbers.
Yeah, so maybe the Queens will be in time to counter the tanks.
Hmm.
And it looks like, yeah, I don't know. Terran's going to be hard-pressed to push up this ramp, right? With all those Hydras up there. They could perhaps swing over to the right.
There's so many queens. Like, I think like this amount of money spent on queens might be a mistake here. There's not that many tanks, and like you know, it takes a long time for the queens to get the energy to cast that spawn a broodling. So this is going to be a decent window of time where Zerg gets just down all that money and supply for no reason, really.
Yeah, especially considering they're kind of, been trading consistently throughout the game. They haven't really had time to amass queen energy. But it would be, nice if they were able to. They could basically get every Goliath on the map right now if they wanted to. But You're right, there's not a lot of tanks out there. So it's kind of not as effective. But Terran is kind of not going so far, just content to see that they're on even bases with Zerg.
Can you imagine if Terran got EMP and just wiped out all the queen energy?
Yeah, that would be a pretty strong play, right? It would definitely buy you a lot of time. They've irradiated some Hydras, which I don't think is the best use of irradiate.
Yeah.
But you gotta use it sometime, I guess.
Queen gets picked up.
Yeah, they're definitely denying all mining at this mineral only. Here's a queen, though, maybe gonna get a breathing off.
A parasite! Oh my god. Today we've seen optic flare and parasite.
Parasite's good. At least it will allow cloning for these farm queens. Let's see if it pays off for the Zerg.
Oh, we have another one. Oh, there's a
tank down.
Oh, there we go. Tank is brooding outside the third. Getting some value with this queen. Ooh, and some more.
Uh-oh, I think he wasted all the... Oh, never mind.
There's a couple queens. And queens have kind of been scattered around here. It's hard to keep track of them. They're getting picked off by these Goliaths. But, oh no, one with full energy does.
Okay, 4 are coming in, though. And I think this is enough Hydras. Wow, so the Zerg holds here. Terran does have a lot of workers, however.
Yeah, Terran's going up to 4 bases here. That's really scary, especially when it's a mech Terran. Like, if this Terran army gets too big, it's just so cost-effective in fights. But for now, Zerg is doing quite well.
Yeah, Zerg's got a counterattack going. They've kind of retaken that high ground in the middle, which can be crucial on this map. There is some vultures headed over to the south side, though. And, yeah, I gotta say, I really do favor Terran's position here. They've got some nice upgrades. They've got enough bases here, and they've kind of got a good map presence as well with their mines and vultures. Here's a... oh, I thought this was a drop with these upgrades, but it's not.
Just the mind games.
Yes. This would definitely have tricked me in the game. And it looks like those queens have now kind of recovered their energy, and they're going in for some more broodlings.
Ooh, there we go. Got these
This is nice play. All the tanks going down. Oh, one left. Yeah, that's pretty devastating as Terran, really. The queens just raid in, knock out all your tanks. It's going to be up, to the Zerg to see if they can keep replenishing their Hydra count, however. They've got 36 drones, which is a decent amount if you're facing a maybe a 2-base or 3-base push, but against this many workers and this many bases from Terran, it's hard to win with this few drones.
Yeah, but now that the tank numbers have been cut down, Zerg is trying to fight for this position. More irradiates on the Hydras, but I think it's actually going to be enough here. This fight's going so well for Terran with all the splash damage.
Yeah, this is the strength of Terran Max. So strong on the defensive. That was a really, I think, efficient trade for Terran. Yeah, I would like to see Zerg maybe building some drones here, because it looks like they're still just building Hydras.
But it's hard, like, Zerg can get in this position, like, almost in any matchup where, like, you should have built drones earlier. But now you don't have time because Terran is not going to give you the time. Like, you see Terran is already pushing back out on this map.
You're right. Terran is not going to give you the time. Terran's moving around trying to engage with the Hydras that you do have, so you're forced to constantly trade, and more irradiates going down on the Hydras.
Yeah, I'm really not sure about the value of these irradiates on the Hydras. The thing is, like, the Hydra that you irradiate dies so quickly that you don't even get much splash damage. Oh, we got a big scourge on the vessels. But the nice thing about that irradiate is that it aggroes all of the Hydras and they run into the tanks. Well, Ocoini is moving to threaten these bases. Yeah.
The tank's not quite sieged up just yet, but they are going to get some nice splash on these Hydras, I think. Oh, there's the mischance.
Space is in danger here. We actually have quite a few units. Oh my god, there's more queens.
Look
10
at all
queens
the queens,
are here.
though. This is plenty. So here's the irradiates going down on the queens. That's what you needed.
Actually, we got the parasite on one of these vessels, I think. I'm not even sure what's going on. Tanks are blasted for the most part. It looks like there was a Doom drop in development here that had to get brought back to defend, but this Terran push is broken.
Yeah, credit to the Zerg for staying in this and trading so well with Terran, who's got so many SCVs and workers basically, and upgrades on that Terran mech. You would think that this game is kind of over, but the Queens are helping the Zerg stay in it with their good engages from the Hydras, I think. Wow, it looks like the dropships now being produced from Terran as well. Is that what you were mentioning about the Doom drops?
No, there was some Overlords filled Hydras that came over to the space to defend.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Oh yeah, there's 2 Overlords in the top left that have some links in them. Might be headed to the 12 o'clock base of Terran. Meanwhile, Zerg is finally trying to expand again, taking the 6 o'clock. Oh my god, look, I just keep finding more bases when I look at the minimap. Like, there's a Terran base in the bottom right, adding a bunch of barracks, like doing the reverse mech switch, going into bio.
Yeah. Let's see that all the time, that's for sure. And they are going to be in a good position here to take this one base at 3 o'clock as well, right?
Yeah. There's some more broodlings and the friendly fire killing another tank.
Yeah, I think there was a drop here, right, in the top.
Yeah, there was some links in the middle line, but they got cleaned up. But now we just have units running in here. This base here might be in danger. We have Terran trying to defend. 2 dropships.
Can we get some mines on these tanks? There's a broodling. Wow, so the lings get up into the middle line. The supply is looking a lot closer here.
Yeah, like, ocelotter has been dead on drones for a long time, but it's just been getting every little drop of value out of their units. And now ocoini's having trouble holding on to these two bases in the top part of the map.
Yeah, I wonder what this bio base is getting up to with fire bats now being produced. It could end up, you know, rolling over the bottom right side of the map here.
Yeah, there's no lurkers, there's no defilers. I mean, that is kind of the dream scenario for bio, but being behind on upgrades is going to be pretty rough. You have a huge SCV transfer just as another push heads up to this base. I'm just trying to storm up this ramp, and there's just nothing here from Terran to stop the Zerg army.
Yeah, those SCVs are all going to die, it looks like. Another radiate goes down, but it's not enough. I think all the SCVs die. You got to lift this command center. Here comes the Bioforce, though.
Yeah,
taking out one hatch.
Yeah, this base actually is going to go down to the surprise bio units. The whole Zerg army is heading back to deal with it. Thing is, like, there's no upgrade to this bio at all, and the Hydras are at 2-1. Like, it's Stim is actually just stubbing Research Show.
Yeah,
it's a good diversion, but this Marines are going to get cleaned up.
I wonder if they were going to bring the dropships down there for that bio.
Yeah,
that would have been interesting. It looks like the tanks, though, are enough to hold on to this mural only for the Terran player, so they've secured this base. I think it's, you know, they kind of got denied here at 3 o'clock, it looks like, by this one Hydra.
More bootlegs on the 2 tanks that are only. The dropships are going to move out with a few vultures. You're going to try to find some damage, but I don't know. It seems like Zerg is pretty well defended against drops on the left side of the map.
Yeah, I think Terran is actually in a lot of trouble now. They're moving out with a group over here on the right side, trying to take out 6 o'clock, but that's getting denied. And now there is that drop of a bunch of vultures trying to take out drones, but I don't think this is really a time to be taking out drones. They're not taking out any fighting units, really.
Oh yeah, I thought that Ocoini was way ahead in this game, but now it's looking really precarious. Zerg is actually up on supply. This base,
they're not mining any gas. Yeah.
This base here with the bio force is in danger.
A bunch of SCVs die as they're transferred to that bio base.
Yeah, I guess like Ocoini just didn't want to deal with Brood League anymore, so just gave up on the mech. But it's really hard to make this switch back into bio at this point in the game.
Hey, they're probably thinking if they can deny 6 o'clock, what's Zerg really mining on? So they're sending all their units kind of down there. But here come the Queens and Hydras. Terran needs to siege up now. Looks like all the tanks are going to go down. Marine Medic on top of the ramp. Trading okay. Not enough, though. I think the upgrades are, like you said, improving a lot.
Ooh, Firebrat, the drone line takes out a bunch of drones, but does get killed. And now another base from Terran is going to be destroyed here, the bottom right.
Yeah, and crucially, Terran has no gas whatsoever, so now they're going to be stuck on basically marine production, I think. They've got some tanks up here on the high ground, which are kind of a good spot for them.
Oh, here they are. Trying to find them. The command center is
yeah,
going to focus
Queens
down by
are
the
pretty good, though. And here's a infested CC. Oh!
No! Missed the chance. You can't make this many Queens and not infest the command center. Come on.
They wanted to, I think. Yeah, they just barely missed it here. It's okay.
There's still a chance.
There's 2 more dropships headed over to that middle left base, but I think it's going to get taken out by these Hydras. One barely sneaks by with 6 HP, the other one does get taken out. Wow, so this was like kind of a suicide run, but the tanks and Goliath do get unloaded. And they're going to be able to take out the Sunken, but here come the Hydras to clean them up.
Yeah, the drop does cleaned up. Kills a few drones, but Terran is still behind in that department. Man, like a few minutes ago, Terran was at like 75 SCVs, and now it's down to 48. I guess some vultures heading to the 6 o'clock rather, but.
Okay, these vultures need to lay all their mines. So here's a bunch of mines going down, which is going to help them trade a lot better against what Zerg is doing.
Like, there's some extreme long-distance mining going on with these drones.
Yeah, it would have been nice if Terran could have maybe just held that position with their vultures and denied all these drones from mining so long. But unfortunately, the Hydras were able to force them off that spot. And now, yeah, as you said, the long-distance mining is able to go through. Okay, so here's another group of Marines and...
Hold the fire bats. Line them up. It's been like constant battling in this game for the last 10 minutes.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Definitely kind of low eco as well, I would say, maybe. At this point, anyway, they're definitely not mining on a lot of bases.
More broodling going off.
Wow, is a bunch of Goliaths show up for Terran? Could be effective here.
That's
wow,
why
so many
the good
queens
broodlings. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Terran's scanning.
Trying to go to this bottom right base of Zerg, and there's no Nidus or anything here, so I think Terran might clean up this base.
Yeah, it's Zerg trying to hide their drones, it looks like.
Yeah, I always do that when my corner bases get killed. It never works. They always get found out. There's 2 hatchers down here. Alright, definitely in danger. Zerg is trying to save it. Enough. Oh, I don't know. All the Marines changed targets. Firebats not too great against buildings.
Uh-oh. But I think this is enough.
And these upgrades make a huge difference with these. Plus, like with these 3-1 Hydras against this bio, like it's so much damage. We do still have 2 Marines left.
Over here in the top left, though. And if these vultures also get their mines out, they could trade a lot, very efficiently here. There's one Goliath picking away. Oh, not anymore. Oh, here's lurkers even.
Are we gonna see like every single unit built in this map? Like we just need like Valkyries, Wraiths, and VCs from Terran. Oh, I guess like Ghosts, and then what Zerg? Like we need like Ultras and infested Terrans, I guess. Like it is like these players are going all out in this game.
Oh yeah, and I gotta say I'm liking the Queen Micro here from Zerg.
Yeah, like these queens have been valuable all game.
Yeah. It looks like finally these hatches over here in bottom right are gonna fall. These lurkers could burrow. We'll see. Oh my goodness, lurkers are pretty good.
Yeah, lurkers are pretty good here. This base is saved. The last hatcher is 160 HP here.
And the drones might be able to get back to work. We'll see. Another force streaming down there. This is such an interesting unit combination for Terran, right? But they do have that 3 o'clock base set up, so now they're running gas again. Maybe they'll be able to get some tanks out. Wow, can Terran pull this off?
I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen in this game. This is absurd.
Okay, here they go. They're going to finally try to engage this base in the bottom right, and they do take out that one lurker that was defending it. All the drones again forced to retreat. The Hydras have kind of cut off this force here in bottom right.
Yeah, it could. Well, I don't know. It's like I think Terran's fine to have these units stuck in this base, deny all this mining. The drones do hide just a little bit further into that corner.
Yeah, the Queens all have the energy for another round, I think. So here they come. There's enough tanks out to all be, evaporated here. All the drones finally do go down.
Another breedling. Jumper caught. Very sad.
Okay, but now I think Terran has secured bottom right. If they want, they can take it. So that's definitely to their favor. They have these 2 more bases, and they have a bunch of mines set up over here. They've got a bunch of SCVs going to the middle, which is definitely not as secure, but maybe they can hold on to that location as well.
The Queens do find it. The Queens are just hanging out here in the middle of the map, seeing this base going up.
What do they do?
We have, SCV. It looks like the Ultra Cavern just finished.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's going to take out the CC with the Broodlings.
Oh my god. The question is, do they time out first?
The SCVs are fighting them now.
Damn, 2 SCVs beats 2 Broodlings. Now you know.
Yeah. Wow, did he use a bunch of queens to try to clean up these vultures in top left? Because, I don't know. I think... Yeah, Zerg, now things are kind of swung against them, it looks like. They need to hold on to secure these bases, because it looks like Terran has bottom right.
Yeah, we have more Terran units heading to the top left. Fighting these Hydras in the middle. Looks like the tanks are going to let Terran power through there. Well, some Lings, though, shutting down the Terran expansion in the bottom right. Both players, like, just will not give each other a break at all.
There's fighting everywhere across the map, it looks like right now. Right now, Zerg really needs to start using these units at 6, I think.
Yeah, there's a big force here trying to defend this mining base for Zerg, but that really is like the last real mining going on for Zerg right now. Oh my god!
Yeah,
look at the 9 o'clock. There's ultras that are trapped.
They're gonna have to kill that hash. Like, it's getting down to it right now.
Maybe you can kill the sunks and get out of here. I don't know. But there's so much important stuff in this base. There's 3 hatcheries, the Filer Mound, the Ultra Cavern. The drop is going to show up and be like, there's no mining going on here.
Oh, and they get denied pretty easily, I think.
This is crazy.
Both players not really mining. Kind of 1 base each, right?
Yeah, it's like Terran has 3 o'clock and Zerg has 9, and that's really the only established bases going on. Like, there's a command center floating in the center, but there's nothing to defend it. No actual mining going on there.
Yeah, I would definitely, if I'm Terran, consider just sieging up on taking that base. Right, that would put you way ahead, and as long as you deny the corners, you're in a good spot, I would say.
Yeah. So a bunch of overlords fly over the bioforce here, actually managing to supply block Zerg 35 minutes into the game.
Here's some Broodlings coming out. This might be the last battle here as Zerg is desperately trying to hold on to this base.
There's not that much left to deal with this big tank army. Now that Terran got that gas, they can go back to making mech units, I guess.
Yeah, tank fire bat here and medics. Very strong.
Yeah. Those ultras, though, are free from their prison in the 9 o'clock.
Okay. What can they do? Maybe they can swing some things here. There's not a lot of spider mines out anymore.
Oh well, this ultra manages to find the last mines on the map. It gets annihilated.
Yeah, and these vultures are going to lay some more here at 6, so these ultras are forced back.
Oh my god. Ocoini is like hesitating here at the last moment. Just one screen down puts them in position to threaten this base, the last mining base of Rick.
I think they're very comfortable though in their spot. That they're trying to take 12. They've got some units here in the bottom right. They kind of don't even need to take out 6, but it would be nice if they did.
Ultra spawn from the base, get blasted immediately by all these high damage mech units.
So low on HP now for those ultras.
Terran is
dropship kind of flying around.
Terran is trying to get the 12 o'clock, but Ocelotter's spidey senses are tingling and send some lings up there. Oh, they get cleaned up by mines though. Dropship gets taken out by Scourge. Oh.
Yeah, but it does have some vultures around at the gas geysers, it looks like.
It's looking pretty scary here for Ocelotter. Terran is starting to get more and more mining going.
Yeah, they really just need to move their tanks down, but it looks like they're a little scared of the group things, you know, deservedly so, considering how long this game has been.
Scourge getting blasted by Goliaths here.
Nice play here, keeping the science vessels alive.
One goes down, but I think that's overall a good trade for Terran.
Yeah, here's some mutas even out. It looks like 3 mutas, so Zerg's kinda... Okay, 4 mutas. There's only 3 Goliaths with this force. Yeah, it's looking desperate here for Zerg, I think.
Yeah, these lanes do manage to shut down the middle base again, forcing it to lift off. Oh, we got Consume and Defilers in production. Zerg is trying every unit here, trying to find something to work. But, like, how do you counter Terran making every unit? Like, they're just making everything that they can. Very brave scientist will walk.
Well, some lings in the mineral line at 12. Pretty good. The worker count has evened up. But no mining is going on for Zerg at all, basically.
Yeah, oh, you're right. There's this mineral only, but it's in a very precarious position, and there's no drones there. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's actually no drones on the left side at all. Well, there's one, right?
Look, there's so many command centers going up for Terran, like, playing whack-a-mole now.
Zerg has draw. Maybe they save their drones that way.
Oh, look, he's evacuating out the drones with the Overlord. Genius. But where are they going to go? There's nowhere safe to go. Try to mine right here. Oh my god, the rescue Overlord gets irradiated. The poor drones.
The escape Overlord, getting shut down. Yeah, where do they go now? Lean. But there's not a lot of safe spots anymore for Zerg on the map.
Yeah, there's not really anywhere that they can mine from. There's not enough money to build another hatchery. There's only 9 drones left. It's getting close to checkmate here for Zerg. Somehow Ocoini has done it in this game.
I like how there's some nerfers here, but there's going to be defilers that need to support this, I think. Wow. I think one mine just took out like 6 lanes there. Okay, there's some Scourge taking out science vessels at the mineral only reserve. GG.
Oh my god, Ocelotter taps out, and Ocoini takes a very, very hard-fought game to win this series 2-0, and that's another one going in favor of GOSU. What a game. That was a ridiculous game. I need to take a quick bathroom break after that game, so I'm gonna go do that, and then we're gonna head into the third series here. After that, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. RoyalBlue, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I see that Hawk joined the lobby while I was coming.
Yes.
Pretty funny. But anyway, let's get into series number 3 back on Butter. It's going to be Kimura against RabbitRoo, and finally there's going to be a Protoss in this game, so I can know what I'm talking about.
For once, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of interesting for Hawk to join. Nice to see him.
All right, in the top right, in the red Protoss sporting the CPL tag, it's RabbitRoo trying to get a win on the board for UED. In the bottom right, in the pink Terran, it's Kimura.
So another match on Butter. Again, Zerg can wall. I mean, Terran can wall very well here.
Yeah.
So we may see that again.
Let's see what these players choose to do. I don't know about you. I hate playing on this map. Like, I don't like.
Really?
Like, I think the design is cool, but it's just there's so many ramps everywhere. Like in the late game, it's hard to get your big army around. Like the Terran just locks down a few choke points.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Let's see what RabbitRoo does here. I think we're going to see a gas steal. But we might see Chimera wall off before the probe gets there.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't think the wall will be complete before the probe gets there, but maybe.
It's going to be close. Yeah,
it's going to be close here.
All right, oh my god,
here we
go.
Gonna
build it right away.
Moment of truth.
Oh no!
Oh, he gets the block off.
Yeah,
okay,
seal
so
denied.
Yeah. Now this SCV could be harassed by the probe, perhaps.
Maybe, but the probe's not even going to try. I wonder if we're going to see something proxied out here. Like, this probe is taking a very suspicious path. Now, there's no tech yet, but we could see like a robo proxy here. Maybe some DT.
Yeah, this is very suspicious, but this might be a little too early, maybe. And I think Terran might be onto this. We'll see.
Yeah, I would definitely be suspicious as to why this probe isn't trying to kill my SCV, right? Like, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens here. Meanwhile, Chimera banking quite a few minerals, probably going to get a fast command center. Ooh, cancels a marine. That's interesting. Maybe you're going to lift the... Oh, okay, we're going to lift this command center to let it know. Okay, look, I'm going to start making calls here. I don't know what's going on. There we go. We do have the pylon being made outside the Terran base, so something is going to be proxied. Now, what is it?
Yeah.
I feel like with this position, it has to be a robo.
Well, no range or is being upgraded from the cybernetics core. It could easily be, DTs.
True. I think if we're waiting for 200 gas, it's something robo. No? Range? What? RabbitRoo, what are you doing?
What do we know? Yeah.
Stop baiting me, please. Oh my god. We already got the pylon. You might as well build something.
Hey, this could be the strat. We were saying this is very suspicious pro movement. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe just faking them out, getting range and some goons.
Yeah. Like Terran's gonna scout that pylon, suddenly panic, make like 8 turrets everywhere. Meanwhile, Protoss expands 3 times.
There's the gateway going down.
Oh, it's a second gateway. Is this just gonna be like mass goons?
Oof. Yeah, mass goon could work. Here's the first vulture coming out. We'll see where it goes first. I feel like it's just going straight towards the Protoss nav.
Yeah, it is. So Chimera should be suspicious that there's no Nexus.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be a lot of different things that Protoss could be doing. Oh no, the Vulture's gonna make it past these goons.
And into the main, yeah.
Base. So you're gonna see basically nothing. Like, you're gonna see the gateway, the core, and Nexus, and Chimera should realize that Protoss should have more at this point. So something is somewhere else on the map right now. But
for sure, yeah. There's only 2 pylons. That's a key tell that something's going on at this timing, as well as not seeing a Nexus. So it'll be interesting to see how Chimera decides to play this. Right now they've got a tank siege on the way and an engineering bay, which I would say is pretty standard here, considering what they've scouted, right? They want to be extra safe. They're going to have their tanks and defend this bunker and get some turrets up in case there's DTs. It looks like we're just seeing mass goons, though, so it's going to be a matter of, can we defend this first tank with siege mode from these goons as they come out and try to snipe it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I have been on the record that I hate like 10-15 and like 2-gate goon builds. Now this is something different, obviously. This is proxy with 2 more gates. The thing is, like, we're seeing RabbitRoo has to make more probes to make up for the probes that were killed by that vulture. Because like when you try to make 3-gate goons, like they're not that cheap.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. Once they get
okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Once they get these 5 goons, they can just go in there and snipe this first siege tank, but it looks like they're focusing on the bunker.
No. It's pretty rough. These tanks are pretty far back here. It's a very narrow choke for these goons to run through. They're going to take.
Sure.
a lot of damage. I'd like to see Kimura maybe pull a few more SCVs. I mean, they're literally at double the worker count right now. You know, they can afford to have some not mining. But I just feel like it's such a narrow window for this kind of Mascoon one base build to get any damage done if the turn finds it. Like, yeah, with 3 siege tanks here, I just don't see how Protoss can pull it up.
For sure, especially losing those probes, as you said, their goon production has not been quite as good as they would have liked, and yeah, they needed to really just dive on that first tank. Now it looks like the engineering bay may even be landed, and that's going to be pretty devastating to these goons. Because it's going to be even more narrow for them to try to get through. One of the tanks is back in the main, so maybe that's an advantage for Protoss, but it looks like, you know, I'm not sure they have really a next step in their plan. They've got a robotics coming.
Yeah, but it's back in the main base, so whatever comes out of here is going to take a long time to get out. Here we go, going for that bunker. There's quite a few goons, but so much damage is going to come out from these tanks. The bunker does go down. The eBay is going to try to wall off the tanks. Oh no, the goon pathing.
Brutal.
No, goons, please. They don't know where to go. They're all confused. Repair keeps tanks alive for a long time. One of them goes down, but it's 3 here. The SCVs are going to block these goons. And I think this is pretty much over for RabbitRoo. Like,
yeah, this was pretty much a textbook defense by Kimura, and RabbitRoo just, you know, and didn't have a second plan after that.
Yeah,
he attacked that stuff.
Alright, well, let's see what happens in game 2 here. That, a Vulture getting in was very good for Kimura. But the thing is, like, even if that didn't happen, like, Kimura would still be able to tell if there was no natural expansion.
Yes. That being said, if Kimura went, let's say, mines first, because they were expecting DTs or something like that, instead of 3-gate goon, that could have been not as good, right, against all these goons. But going for siege tanks and engineering bay was, like, the perfect thing to do. Definitely paid off, I think.
Here we go, in the top left of Goodnight, it's the yellow Protoss RabbitRoo. In the bottom right, in the weird, I don't know, not peach, some kind of tan beige color. It's Terran player Kimura.
Yeah, so Kimura easily defending that kind of aggressive build from RabbitRoo in the first game. I wonder, you know, how that kind of can affect this into the second game, the mindset of RabbitRoo. Are they going to, again, go for a cheese build to try to, you know, get a quick win? Or are they going to change up their strategy, you know?
Yeah, like, was it like a, just trying to get something done in game 1 and then go back to the standard play? Or is it like RabbitRoo doesn't think they can win a standard game, so they're going to cheese every time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are building that pylon in the main again. So that's at least a good sign. Right?
Yeah, much harder to still gas on a 4-player map. Ooh, but this probe leaving is pretty early. Like, getting after Gateway is pretty early, but not early enough to like gas steal or get up to any real shenanigans. So we'll have to see what happens. Everything looking very normal in the base of Kimura. Actually, you know, so not putting the barracks next to the depot could lead to some micro issues later if there are zealots in the base, but it doesn't seem like that'll be what's happening this time.
Yeah, it looks like there's gas going down for RabbitRoo. Potentially a core here, yeah. Yep. So it does look like goons maybe first. I wonder, yeah, no SimCity, kind of risky.
Yeah, especially after your opponent just cheese you in game 1, like that's some confidence. Scouting workers pass each other. Players should have a decent idea where their opponent is. Uh-oh, but this probe's going to the middle rather than... Oh, is it doing the... No, it's doing the, like, Z-Scout. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh
Looks like
no,
this-
it is 10-15. Oh no. Dude, I think this build is garbage. Like, I've gotten into this with Nebula several times. Like, it's just like I don't know. Like, Terran is going to scout it, and they're just gonna get Siege Shanks like they did in the first game, and it's just so hard for Protoss. Now the thing is, both players are doing this like end scout kind of thing, so I guess there's a chance that the first goon keeps the SUV out of the base.
Yeah, I mean, right, you can still get that first tank if you 10-15, especially if it's on the low ground, and that can be pretty tough for Terran to deal with. If they do build a bunker and get siege mode, though, you're right. It pretty much gets stuck.
But like Terran builds a bunker every single game. Like, there's no game where Terran's like, you know what, I don't need a bunker against Protoss. Like, that just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably because people
went about that.
Yeah, probably because people
10-15 for like
yeah. But like, see, like Terran hasn't seen anything at all. They just get a bunker. Like, it's just normal play.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna see. Okay, so 2 goons at this time. It's pretty fishy. I think maybe you could have 2 goons out, like if you're doing like 23 or 28 nexus or something. But did not actually see the 2 gateways, I think. So might not know for sure. It's going to come down to what comes out of this factory. The fact that it was machine shop before even a vulture makes me think that Kimura
is there's a vulture out there.
Oh, never mind. All right, I'm just blind. Let's see. Okay, the probe. So the vulture is going to see this probe heading out is definitely suspicious. It's going to see one more goon, and he's going to head to the main, see 2 gateways, know everything that's going on. And we do have the 2 goons on the bunker again. Range is not quite done. Oh no, this goon takes so much hull damage.
Oof. So that's not good, right? You don't want to lose your first goon. But here's the vulture into the main of Protoss, and it is going to start taking out some probes.
Oh, that's so annoying. The thing is, like, you can't afford to, like, put goons on the ramp to keep vultures out of your base.
Yeah.
Going 2-gate goon. You can't even, like, build pylons to wall it off because you need more goons to come out. Like I hate this build. Don't do this build. It's so bad. The tank is poking at these goons. There's not a critical mass of goons here to jump on this tank, and RabbitRoo's focused on something else. Oh no, you can't kill a tank with 2 goons like this. One of them goes down. It was one with more health too, so it's looking pretty rough for Protoss. And there's another probe coming out. Like, what is RabbitRoo doing here? Like, building a shield battery for these goons? Like,
yeah, or maybe they just missed shot their nexus. We'll see. Oh, there's the proxy. So they are building maybe something. Yeah, I definitely like Kimura's position. They stopped the first game very easily. Now they scouted this the second game, and they know what's coming. They got a siege on the way. They've just got to pull this tank back. Ooh.
oh, look, one tank is even going to be on the high ground. Like,
and it could maybe range down this robotics. We'll see. I don't know.
Not from there, sure. Like, the tanks are good.
Not from there.
Like, I could zoom out.
From the edge, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
Yeah. I think they could from the actual edge of the base. A robo and a 3rd gateway. Oh man, it's gonna be really rough to support on 16 probes.
Yeah, already we see Kimura in the commanding lead in the worker count for sure, and they've got these 2 bases up. So all they have to do now is, not lose their workers and add on production, and they're going to be able to match up whatever Protoss is doing.
Like, honestly, Kimura should not be making workers right now. Like, at some point their expected value is going to go pretty low. I mean, like, if Terran survives this, they're just going to be so far ahead, even if the worker count isn't absolutely maximized.
Yeah, you're right about that, I think. That's a good point. However, I don't think Terran does know that Protoss has pretty much doubled down on their all-in and is now building a gateway and robotics that's on its base.
True. I'm going for shuttle first and getting 2 zealots, so it's not going to be a Reaver. It's
going to be like a bulldog.
Yeah, trying to bulldog. And I think this is like what the actual bulldog is, like a 1-base 3-gate robo. Kind of all in here.
Yeah, but this is, perfect SimCity. They got a bunker, they got turrets, just like you said. This is why people kind of don't go for this strategy anymore. Terran plays so safe right now. The Academy coming up, so scans are going to be available. We have a second factory. armory is still going, so there's +1 going.
Yeah, I even like how there's 3 tanks just chilling in the main, like waiting to deal with a Reaver or drop or something. It's really smart.
Yeah, for sure. And they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can even shut down this shuttle when it comes in, tries to unload on this tank on the high ground, which is most likely what we're going to see here.
There is a lot of empty space in the main, and
true.
Like we like as refrigerator in the chat points out, like we could see an elevator maybe, but Khmer has a lot of vision in this space.
That starport now has kind of helped them out. Definitely good positioning. I don't think an elevator is going to work out. Maybe.
Yeah. Alright, this is going to be the best bulldog of all
Here
time.
we go.
Oh, but the shuttle's way far in the back. Goons are getting shoot up by this tank.
Oh, but the tanks are headed down the ramp.
Zealots are on top of one of these tanks. One of the tanks goes down.
Yeah.
The rest of them are on siege in the main.
Though.
Yeah, SimCity very good, slowing down these goons a lot. And now we're going to have 5 tanks on the high ground. Forget about it. I think they're going to max out army and cannot deal with 5 tanks on the high ground.
Yeah, the goons kind of slowly meandering in and getting taken down. They're heading up the ramp, but getting focused by these tanks. But I think this is it for our Protoss player. They're kind of getting denied with everything they've tried so far. Even though they've been over on the Terran side of the map, their economy at home is just not good enough to kind of stay in the game. I think because Khmer is already setting up a 3rd base. Or setting up a 3rd CC, so if they take a 3rd base here, while RabbitRoo is just barely setting up their 2nd, Protoss is just getting more and more behind.
Yeah, like 18 to 53 workers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just why I don't like these builds. this kind of build. Like I feel like, I understand if you want to cheese. I feel like you should go for like DTs or something. Like there's a chance that Terran just doesn't make a turret and you kill them, but there's such a small chance that Terran doesn't make a bunker and a tank. Like,
yeah.
There we go. There's no edge for Protoss at all. Like Terran has a bigger economy and better tech,
50 supply up,
and
and
a bigger army. Like. It's going to take like an extreme mistake from Khmer for RabbitRoo to take this game now. Do you think, this command center is going to go there and be like, what? Why'd you build this here?
Well, I'm impressed with what I've seen from Khmer. Definitely kind of, standard Terran play, how to defend against these early goon attacks. Definitely something every Terran goes through.
Oh, yeah. It's a rite of passage. But now all of these buildings are going to get exploded. Terran 3rd, command center is going to land. Protoss is reset back to the Stone Age. It's just 2 gateways and a cyber core. The 3rd base is coming up for Protoss. But you want to be ahead of the Terran, not trying to catch up to them.
Yeah, and the worker count, as we've been saying, it's just so low. It's hard for Protoss to now at like 11 minutes start again producing probes out of a couple nexuses. So it's kind of Terran doesn't even need to attack, right? They're just so far ahead. Eventually, they will max out. They'll get some upgrades, and they'll just be able to move across the map.
Yep.
There's another robotics being built in the main for Protoss.
Yeah, you gotta get those observers to figure out what Terran's gonna do. Huge SCV train heading to the 3rd. We even have 2-1 coming for Terran. Like at some point, these units are just gonna be actually invincible. Or just like 3-3 against no upgrade Protoss. Like.
Yeah, and there's really only 7 goons out, so that's okay. So now they've got 9. That's not enough to match up with the tank count either. So there's no advantage. Even if he gets the obs into the Terran base, what's he going to see? A bunch of factories and that he's way behind? So
he's going to be like, oh, you have way too much stuff. All right. I know that now. Yeah, over 100 supply ahead. This is a rough one.
So it is like, yeah, how do you fight back if you're Protoss in this situation? As you said, it's a rough situation to even be in, but you want to go for some kind of edge, right? So yeah, maybe you get DTs out there, maybe you go for some kind of tech, right? But right now, just massing goons and getting obs is like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think like, I mean, it's too late to do this now, but like you get to expand faster. Like that is what people tell me is good about 10-15 is like, oh, you force into siege and then you get like a fast third base.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. So it's good like to do that now, but something like that, like no matter what you do, it's gonna have like a low percentage win rate. So I think you should just be really risky, like expand a lot. Try to max out on probes. Like, stop building goons, because even if you build goons, you're not going to be able to win a fight. Like, just hope that Terran is too passive and try to catch up. Like, try to, like, stretch the game out to maybe, like, the point where you're both maxed out and you maybe have a chance.
Yeah, exactly. You need some kind of miracle fight, right? But it's not going to happen very soon because you're so far behind. So you have to hope to win in a longer game, as you said. Like, stretch the game out. Yeah, try to make small engages, maybe trade efficiently with higher tech units. Here's a group of vultures headed out. They're gonna maybe try to mine up the map, see if Protoss has mass expanded. Maybe deny this probe transfer to 12. Terran is max, so now's the time, really. They've got their 2-1. There is, no higher tech, but they still have a science vessel just in case. They're mining up the map, so they're going to know exactly Protoss army movements, which is very good.
Oh my god, is Khmer really going to be one of these Terrans who just doesn't attack ever? Like, come on. Like, you're maxed out.
Fourth phase.
You stopped the one base all in, like, just on siege and go, hey, move. Like, come on.
Hey, you never know. Protoss is strong.
Yeah.
They can win any fight.
Oh yeah, these vultures are just gonna straight up kill these goons at the third base. The upgrade advantage is real. Trying to get
into the main.
Trying to get the main. You're actually getting cleaned up by a squad of goons.
Yeah, that's a pretty good squad right there. And now a bunch of gateways coming up for Protoss. I don't think they have legs on their zealots, though.
No, not yet. Oh my god, I literally don't think we're ever going to see Khmer attack. I think it's just going to be like sending out squads of vultures and then remaking them. Oh man,
which could work actually, considering how far Khmer is. If they just keep denying Protoss bases, they're way ahead.
Yeah.
I would like to see, maybe before Protoss does start getting their Citadel and their Templar tech out or whatever. You can just go and end the game, right? But I don't know if there's some scans going down, so they're going to see. Okay, the Citadel just finished, right? So there's a bunch of gateways, but what is that building? Just mass goon, really? That's nothing to siege tanks with 2-1, and they're about to have 3-2. Yeah, here's speed getting upgraded for the zealots, but it's very late, and it's going to be hard to for Protoss to like swing engagements. They need Templar, Lever, Arbiter, something like that, right? It's not going to happen with just speed zealots and goons. So that only works if you're like way ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh my god, look at this. Just expansions going up. Alternating corners of the map.
Take all the bases, yeah.
Kimura even blocked his own command center with the mine in the top right. Unbelievable.
Oh no. The problems with playing Terran, yeah.
Like, these observers must be like the most depressed observers to ever exist. Like, everywhere they go, there's some Terran base and mines.
They're just reporting back to base like, it's not good over here.
Oh, man.
Okay, so here's Protoss moving out, trying to defend this base at 12. This one pylon's gonna go down though.
No.
And the Vulture's into the base.
Vulture's gonna kill every probe before they get in here, man. Disgusting. Oh, look at this one goon on the ramp. It's like, alright, guys, I got it. He blocks out all of his buddies. Like,
he wants all the glory.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, all these tanks are unsieged for Kimura. Maybe that means he's gonna attack soon.
Max on tanks, that's what you gotta do.
Just literally 100 tanks to max out your supply, and then you can attack. Oh, I got it. I got how Protoss comes back. If Terran makes too many tanks, and you have like 2 carriers, and they just slowly kill everything because there's no lives.
With the SOP H micro, right?
Yeah.
The only way you can
Oh, look at this! RabbitRoo shutting down a base in the top right. The comeback starts now.
Yeah, I gotta say, I like how Kimura has played this, at least laying up all these mines in the middle. It's gonna make it really hard for RabbitRoo to continually deny bases and get any kind of map control back.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you lost a base in top right, like you said, and that is kind of bad, but it's really not the end of the world. You know, they have bottom left still, so
Yeah.
it's really just a distraction for this Protoss army in some ways.
And I do like how there are mines, like, in all the choke points. So there's no way that Protoss, like, sneaks up. Terran's completely aware of what's going on here.
Yeah, there's kind of not enough ops, maybe. It looks like a lot of Protoss are going to run into these mines.
Here we go. RabbitRoo's going for the 3 o'clock. RabbitRoo's actually almost maxed out, so the plan that I said could work might be happening here, but it's still be 3-2 mech here against the 0 upgrade Protoss.
The tanks are moving out, but they're kind of just moving up a ramp. This could be devastating here. Terran needs to siege, I think. Uh-oh.
Man, this elf actually is like pretty good here.
These
mines are dangerously close.
Oh my god, but I think it's enough though. I don't think He's now finally sieging up. Ooh, some nice mine drags. This was like as good an engage as the Gateway army's getting.
Yeah, this is optimal engage here for the Protoss. But there's just too many tanks. The damage is too much. I mean, RabbitRoo did manage to kill 2 bases with his army. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm impressed by that, but I think it's just too many tanks, and Kimura is just showing the power of like straight up macroing, I guess. Like, not really microing that fight very much, but still winning easily.
There you go, Kimura. It's finally going to actually move out on the map here. Just moving these unsieged tanks. It's probably going to be enough to do it.
I feel like tanks up a ramp too is like the worst, right? Because they don't shoot that fast, so the miss chance is so bad. Here comes Protoss. They're kind of going in a line though, and it looks like there's so many tanks spread out here. This is very.
Oh god, depending on the Protoss units. There we go. The Zealots do manage to get. Although it takes a little bit where they get blasted because of friendly fire damage. But you know, like there's just so much damage. RabbitRoo taps out. And that's going to be a 2-0. Another 2-0 in favor of Team GOSU. Looking pretty dominant here in the Tier 2 bracket. Just have one series left. It's going to be OttoRemmer against bekrul. Let's get that started. Oh, replays won't work. There we go. Alright, let's get into our last series of the day. It's going to be a PVZ. So, return might be, or not return, RoyalBlue might be kind of lost here. In the top right, in the red Protoss, it's iRk-Otto. And the bottom right, in the yellow Zerg. Actually, in kind of a banana yellow Zerg, it's bekrul. So I mentioned that I hate playing on this map. It applies to this matchup too. Not quite as much as I hate playing against Terran, but like when I think about Butter in PvZ, I just think about every ramp has at least 2 lurkers on it. Like that, and that just sucks. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, that is a nightmare. But that's kind of maybe a negative mindset to have. This constant paranoia against lurkers.
Yeah.
But I see where it comes from. That lurkers are just difficult to clean up this ramp, you know, and it's kind of the job of Zerg, I think, to create those kind of difficult, defensive positions for Protoss to go into.
So what's going on here? Oh, and look at this. Actually, I did not realize this was a pylon in the main base of Protoss, which is not usual. So I assume it's going to be 2-gate, like 10-12. The thing is, like, this is a very long rush distance map. So that can hurt this build. Also, I just think 10-12 one base is not very good. We'll see what happens here. It could be a one base tech build, but we would expect to see the gas. No, here we go. Okay, so it is 10-12. The thing about this one base 2-gate build is like I feel like it's mostly a check on the Zerg. Like, do they know how to handle it, and do they have the skill to pull it off? Because like if they don't, which could be very likely in Tier 2, it can be very strong. But I feel like if Zerg knows what to do, it's a big advantage for them. Like it's a big disadvantage for the Protoss.
Yeah, so Zerg has got a pretty early pull and is building leagues, and he's got a drone over there to scout exactly what's going on. So like you said, if they know the counter and they're able to execute it, they should be at an advantage here. However, there is, like you said, the issue of execution, right? That's what kind of makes or breaks players, right? So we see like in the last game, the 10-15 can work if you execute it perfectly, but it's hard to execute it perfectly. Here we see another kind of strategy where it could work for Protoss, but as you're saying, Zerg kind of has to almost make a mistake or not react perfectly.
Yeah. So, well, this is interesting because bekrul had not seen what Protoss was doing when they made these 8 lings, which is unusual. But now they have seen the main base. They know what's going on, so it's fine. And so, given this hatchery placement, I feel pretty good for bekrul because this is what you do. Like, you don't take a third base, you put the hatchery in the choke, you get a sunken at your natural, and you just make a ton of lings. Yeah, here we go. Yep. All right, so this looks pretty good for Zerg, I think. Now, there's still a chance for some 6 zealot micro.
Yeah.
And so, like, the way that this works, well, we'll talk about that after we see the micro here. Let's see. So, the zealots don't want to get too separated. Otto wants to keep them together so they can support each other. They're going to poke at this hatchery, try to force Zerg to do something, but the Sunken is here, covers the hatchery pretty well. bekrul knows that they don't actually have to engage her.
Oh, but they're kind of going for it anyway, and they do have a significant number of lanes able to kind of force these zealots back and pick off one of them. And yeah, now this is not the kind of position you want to be in as Protoss. Their first attack definitely getting thwarted, and now they have to hold off this third counterattack. What if they got for themselves? They got a few zealots back at the main, trying to wall off their little choke point.
Yeah, the thing is, like, this build is all about momentum for Protoss. Like, you constantly want Zerg to feel scared. Well, here we go. We got 5 lings, or 5 zealots here. Definitely going to help out, but just so many lings are getting really good surface area on these zealots. Oh no. Oh no, they're heading right to the main. They don't manage to block off this choke. I think this might be it here.
Yeah, Zerg just stayed on 9 workers and mass-produced lings. Now they've built a round of drones, but it seemed like that was pretty much the perfect response as they forced Protoss all the way back into their base. And as you said, like, it's about momentum, right? So now they've got all the momentum. They've kind of snowballed it in their favor, picking off zealots as they pop out. And they're able to see the cybernetics core start picking off probes. And yeah, they've totally got Protoss back on the back foot here.
Yeah, the thing is, the way that this 2-gate build is supposed to go is, like, Protoss will get ahead on workers. They'll be, like, dramatically ahead on workers until, like, basically the point where Protoss has a 7 zealots is the last time that they can attack before Zerg just gets too big. And then, like, Protoss either expands or techs. And then if Zerg figures out what they're doing, they just do the opposite. But if you manage to kill the zealots early, you can see Zerg is just ahead on drones now. So, and they're getting gas. They're getting actually a 4th hatchery here, so I think we're just going to see a ton of Hydras, and that's going to make it really hard for Protoss to get much done in this game. Like, we see the Stargate coming up, but it's right under the Overlords, so Zerg knows what's going on. It's not going to help against these Hydras.
Yeah, and as you said, like, so you got to figure out what the Protoss is up to, and that Overlord is doing just that. So it's seeing this Stargate, knowing that, oh, all I have to do now is mass Hydras, and I'll be able to deny Protoss from ever taking this damn expansion.
But we see a fast Evo chamber and some more Sunkens here. bekrul playing very defensively, which is fine when you're ahead on economy here. Oh, but actually not long off the choke. The Zealots could get in here, get on these Sunks. But they're getting distracted by the Evo chamber instead.
Yeah, there's really only 1 Sunken up. I wonder if there was enough Zealots to kind of dive on it there. But now the other 2 Sunkens are finishing. And there's plenty of drones out now for Zerg. So, yeah, Protoss is in trouble here. They've got a Corsair on the way.
The Zealots are fanning out, looking for expansions. So then they can't get too much damage done at the front. But bekrul is just chilling on 2 bases. We do finally have the Natural for Protoss started.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Protoss, and it's great that they're able to... Oh, they're not taking out that first Overlord, so they're going to try to scout exactly what Zerg is up to. And seeing this...
oh, the cannon's going to kill the Overlord. That's a genius move right there. Yeah, you need that Corsair to get in here and see what Zerg is doing, so you know how to respond. Basically, so you know where to put your cannons.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Okay, so here's the Corsair. It's going to see that this is a Hydra build, right? There's 2 Evos, there's a Hydra Den, so the cannons are going to have to be at the front, right?
Yeah.
And really, you're not really wanting more Corsair anymore, in my opinion, but I guess you can build them.
Yeah, it's kind of stylistic, like, in general, in this matchup, like, how many Corsairs you get. Because, like, if you were playing perfectly, like, you could abuse Zerg for not having Scourge and find ways to kill undefended Overlords, but that's really hard. So, like, sometimes you only get 3, sometimes you only get 1, and just scout with them. And I think that's a smart choice here, given that the timings are all messed up from the openings.
Yeah, I would like to see how Protoss decides to transition now. I think they need to get, Storm kind of, so that's what they're going for. It looks like the Templar Archives is on the way.
The thing is here, so bekrul is kind of, I don't want to say like getting complacent, but it's just not really developing very much. Like kind of like just getting drones, not expanding, kind of stop teching. Like we have the lair, but no, I guess we're getting Overlord speed, but not really any big lair tech. Thank you for the follow, V Frism. Appreciate you. This one Hydra is getting absolutely stuck on the neutral egg. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I wouldn't say maybe. Well, they're not pressing their advantage, right? They easily could have defended a third base, right? In my opinion, for like a few minutes now. So now they're setting up to mass Hydras, and they're getting all their upgrades out, which is great. It looks like they're going to put a lot of pressure onto Protoss, but they could be even more ahead. They could even have a third base up, So there is kind of a missed opportunity there, but there's nothing wrong with just playing defensive, I guess, knowing how ahead they were, and I guess not risking anything by moving out onto the map.
We are starting to see a ton of Hydras come out, though. Storm is on the way, along with 4 Templar, but it's really hard to be aggressive with just Zealot Templar, because it's so hard to keep the Templar from being sniped, although it obviously can be very good on the defense.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's the play to take this third base over here at like 12 o'clock and then maybe try to play defensive with Templar.
Yeah.
Because they are definitely, 4 is a lot, I would say, at this time.
Yeah, that could be what we're seeing here. It seems like Otto's definitely guarding this base over here. And bekrul, is, but like you said, not pressing the advantage. We do finally see these Hydras moving out, but speed is done on the Zealots. Storm is here. Each of these Templar is ready to cast 1 Storm. So there's a chance that Protoss could hold and attack here.
Yeah, this might be an anti-timing for sure, I'm thinking. They're kind of moving out at like 10:30, 11 minutes, which is usually when Protoss is pretty strong. So there's a lot of storms out. Like you said, Zerg doesn't really want to run into this.
Alright, well here we go. The cannons are trying to take a lot of damage. Nice storm on a ton of Hydras.
Ooh, there go the Corsair.
Yeah, Corsairs, they take the wrong route home. Hydras are going to back off for now. Fanned out in a nice arc here. We have 6 gateways for Otto. Could definitely be up to 8 by now. There we go. Starting to add some more.
Now, what's the next plan for Zerg? Because, you could just keep massing Hydra. It looks like that's what they're doing. Okay,
yeah, it's going to be Lurkers.
Yeah.
Lurkers are the next step. And, as Protoss, you need to get your Robo around, 9 to 10 minutes in a normal game, because that's usually when Lurkers come out. And you can see that it's 12 minutes, and there's not a Robo in sight, which is very scary for Protoss. This is... I have said this before, this is an absolute nightmare scenario, being Lurker contained.
Yeah.
It's so miserable. It's they won't just kill you, you just have to sit here and wait to mine out. It's you don't want to just quit, because you have an army, you just can't get out of your base.
Yeah.
I don't know if you play Dota, but half the reason
I played Terran, so it's like that.
Yeah, exactly. Half the reason that I quit Dota is because you can't surrender, and you have these games where you're going to lose, but the enemy team won't finish you for 45 minutes. That feels exactly like Lurker Contained to me.
Protoss really doesn't have the weapons out to deal with the Lurkers right now. They do need that robotics, and they need potentially Weavers maybe, or definitely Obs to deal with this potential for Lurkers that we're going to see from Zerg. And Zerg is doing a great job of continuing to expand here and deny any further Protoss expansions. So as you said, Protoss isn't exactly dead. They have a huge standing army, but they're forced so far back, they can't really engage in the open field. So they're going to have to wait and try to tech up and then double expand basically, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand how else they can play it.
Yeah, but you have the first lurker starting to morph here. The Robo started at the top right of the main. I think it's like there's plenty of Overlords here, so you have to be careful with that first Observer. You can absolutely get sniped and then just delay your game by another like 30 seconds. Now the thing is here, this arc from bekrul is huge, but it is pretty far back from the natural choke, so it'll make it a lot easier for Protoss to keep their army together and actually threaten this push. Let's see what happens.
I wonder if Protoss is going... well, it would be interesting if they went for some kind of shuttle play here as well, potentially. But yeah, maybe the observatory will be on there.
Alright, Otto's thinking about moving out. But it's gonna be really hard, like without any observers. Like you can storm the lurkers, but it's still pretty rough. Oh no, that storm! Absolute misclick. Damage all of the Protoss army. Avoids too much of a tragedy. If we have Burrow in production, definitely going to be annoying. I think Burrow is a smart choice, like against drops, which is one thing that a Protoss can try to do. Is try to just drop Zerg while they're containing them, and drops, and Burrow. You just Burrow the drones, right? So that's pretty good. The observatory is done. Hopefully we get that first observer out here soon, but I gotta tell you, this is looking pretty good for Zerg.
Yeah, this is a very solid contain now, and Protoss tried to kind of move out, spent some storms, didn't really get a lot accomplished. Yeah, maybe a shuttle is the answer here, I don't know. Looks like they're massing up in their main somehow. Getting ready for a recall.
Yeah. The thing is, like, these zealots might as well not exist against lurkers.
Yeah, like, that's the sad thing. Yeah.
Might as well just put them far away where they don't get in the way of your units.
Yeah, that's like, TVT, you got a bunch of vultures, like, what are they doing for you against siege tanks? I don't know.
Trying to poke out here with some storms. Just managed to get one lurker, but there's so many more where that's come from.
Yeah. And you clear out like 1 inch of ground, but then you realize you're like in an even worse concave than Zerg is able to establish.
It's so miserable. Like, the thing is, like, Protoss wants to get their third in like 12 minutes and their fourth in like 14 minutes. So you just think about how far behind they are from where they want to be right now.
Yeah, that being said, it looks like we may see like one, kind of almost max engagement here between these players. Here's the storms going down on those hydros.
Yeah, it's really nice storms, like killing a lot of hydras, but it's just such an advantage for Zerg. Let's see if it's enough for us to break out. Look at these lurkers getting so much damage on zealots.
Yeah, you can just hear those zealots just dying.
Yeah.
Some nice storms.
So many hydras getting slaughtered, but now it's just Templar left. 2 cannons.
There is some zealots in the back.
There actually is a lot of units in the Protoss Natural, but I think still all these hydras are going pretty good.
Yeah, Protoss, trying to bust out, but it looks like they're definitely trapped here now in their base.
And see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, Zerg will not kill you, right? Like, Zerg could just move everything into Protoss. But they won't do it. They just want you to suffer. Okay, here we go. Lurker's coming in. Head straight to the mineral line. And Bro here in the middle of all these Templar.
Well, it's because Zerg has, run into storms so many times like that and lost their advantage that they won't kill you. Yeah. Really, he can just take 2 more bases,
Right. Again, these storms are doing so much damage. Yeah. This is so much Zerg here.
But I think this is the death blow as we see one lurker burrowing right next to the middle line, getting a lot of spikes off on those workers.
It's going to be the end for Otto in game 1. There we go. Taps out. And we're going to head into game 2 here. And for the first time, UED is ahead in a series tonight. So maybe bekrul can put one on the board for their team. Flip the lobbies up. There we go. There you go. All right, let's get into it. Heading back to good night. Alright, here we go. On the top left of good night, it's the red Protoss Otto. In the bottom right, in the pink Zerg, it's bekrul. Now, I'm curious to see if we're going to see that 2-gate again.
Yeah.
Or what we're going to see out of Otto here.
Where are you from?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The front rush.
Yeah. If I'm Otto, I'm definitely realizing, watching the replay, maybe, okay, bekrul definitely shut down that 2-gate rush. So perhaps they will select a different strategy here, or maybe they will just, Okay, so it seems friendly, right?
Yeah. Like, especially for game 2. Like,
yeah.
Game 1, maybe you chat, but game 2, it's like serious mode. Here we go. We do have the gateway, or the pylon in the main base, so it looks like it'll be another 2-gate here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's funny that Otto's Swedish, because I had a Swedish opponent this season who wanted to know where I was from. So maybe it's a Swedish thing. Ooh, and it's going to be an overpull here. I think actually that's what we saw from bekrul in game 1.
Which, I don't know if overpull is necessarily best against this 2-gate, or what do you think?
Okay, so I think that, like, hatchery first is just, like, strictly better than overpull. It's just a bit harder to play. Does that make sense? Like, on paper, you should just win because, like, you just have more larvae. It's just, like, the micro is a little bit harder if they go for, like, a 9-gate or, like, a cannon rush or something. Like, you have to be able to micro against that. Because, like, sure, it seems like you'd be safer if you got your pool faster, but, like, 2-gate, especially across map, like, you're going to have time for your pool to finish. And then you're going to have the more larvae from the hatchery first. But overpull is still fine. It's pretty much like it should be safe against anything. It's not necessarily going to be advantage against everything, but, like, you shouldn't just die.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely at least have the early pools so you can build the lanes, and you won't have to rely so much on drones, maybe, against these early zealots. And yeah, Otto building these gateways and zealots in the main again. Gonna see that they're cross map with their Zerg opponent, and I wonder if that's gonna signal for them to stay in the main, or if they're still gonna try to move out here with their first few zealots.
I mean, I think you still have to. Like, the whole point of 2-gate is just keep Zerg for making drones, because of course, like, you can make probes and zealots at the same time, but they have to decide what they're spending their larva on. And really, what it is like you try to build up a ball of zealots until you get 7, and then you attack. So we'll have to see. The fact that it's cross position kind of sucks for Protoss. But you can see, like, bekrul is, like, just making links, and, like, they're going to be stuck on this low drone count while the probes add up. So this is already looking a bit better than game 1, I'd say. Just as long as these cells don't totally suicide, and they actually are backing up.
Yeah, so this game, Zerg kind of built the gas, right? And they didn't get their third hatch or sunk in this game, right? That was the third hatch just dropped. They've mined 100 gas, so they are getting speed. So maybe they're going to try a counterattack.
Yeah, speed's pretty good against this.
Forge. Yeah, so speed being run by or counterattack could deny at least the net for a while and potentially make it into the main if the Zealots do move out of position on the ramp, right?
Hmm.
So here they go. So this could be we'll see, right? If they don't do damage, now they've only got 9 workers, and as you said, Protoss has continually built probes here.
Yeah, yeah.
But the problem is Protoss is very in the dark. I don't think they know that Zerg has, just massive speed things like this.
Yeah. It's gonna be very hard to defend this. Like, probably have to sack the cannon to pile in here. Just go back to the ramp. Here we go. We have a bunch of lings coming here. Speed just finished. Trying to get this round off on the lings. Actually, these buildings helping to control the surface area, but I think there's just too many lings here for this number of zealots, and this ramp is so wide on this map. These lings are going to get in here really quick.
Yeah, the cannon finishes, but it's a little too late, and now the Zerglings getting into the main. More zealots popping, but there's really not enough in here to defend these Zerglings.
Mm. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a nightmare having speedlings in your main. I don't care what you have in there. Like, I don't care what stage of the game it is. Like, speedlings in your main sucks.
Yeah. And more lings coming across the map. They're going to take out this isolated cannon in the front, and now make their way into the main.
Oh god, the zealots get surrounded here. Oh, try to knock her out of that. Trying to keep these zealots together. Actually getting some decent trades now.
Yeah.
Nice work there, but there's so many more speedlings. Like, actually, we see drones coming out of Zerg, so they're just deciding that they're going to be satisfied with the damage that these lings can do and trying to build up for more in the game. Then we have a cannon in the main mineral line that's going to help, but like this one base Protoss is going to be pretty rough here.
Yeah, I think Zerg going into drones here is actually the correct move.
Yeah. Especially, yeah, once that cannon is up, it's a lot harder to kill kill the Protoss.
Yeah, look at all these drones at the net and just not getting to work. So, yeah, Zerg has definitely started macroing.
Oh my god, though! Like, somehow Otto got these 3 zealots out on the map. Actually, going to get 2 more. This is very spooky.
Yeah, they might just show up unannounced at the Zerg front door.
The lings, though, are thinking about moving in here. They're going to catch this pylon finishing. They're going to catch this natural nexus and force that to be canceled, I assume. The zealots, though, on the map, they are committing to attacking here. See if they can get some damage done in the main of the Zerg. We only have 1 creep colony coming and just a few lings coming out. Drones, though, are going to try to hold this choke. Sunken is only just now starting to morph here. The zealots are heading straight to the main, though, trying to get away from all of this defensive SimCity. And these lings are going to have to cross the entire map to get over here.
Yeah, I like this play of sending the zealots into the main, maybe potentially holding this ramp as well against these reinforcing lings and isolating these workers. It looks like the lings are going to take out a couple of those zealots, but the zealots have kind of forced at least the drone pool.
So you can see, like, I feel like the real damage of this attack from Protoss is that bekrul is up to 1,000 minerals. Like, bekrul is just focusing on controlling all these units. Just kind of let the build fall to the side here. I think these cells are about to be cleaned up, though.
They did trade pretty well, I gotta say, with the Zerglings. And now this has given Otto enough time to set up a Nexus and some cannons. Now, if Zerg doesn't get back over there, this base could go up for Protoss, and then, it's 2 base against 2 base.
Yeah, we'll see here. We've seen this a few times, like, in this game and in the first game. I think Otto is building these cannons too far forward in the choke. Like, I think you want them behind, and then so that the adminas are in the choke while they're getting shot at. But anyway, lings are here. They decide to leave. There's enough cells to buy time for these cannons to get up. And now, this Protoss Natural is going to be here. might be what's necessary to keep Protoss in this game. This game we have the Stargate coming up, followed by the Citadel, trying to turn this into what looks like a normal game.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, both these players, you know, it was a little unconventional opening, but they are sticking to kind of what they know. Here we see Zerg going for the Hydralisk, getting their +1 on the melee weapons, or on the ranged weapons. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to be safe against this initial Corsair that that Protoss has sent out.
This Corsair is trying to find Overlords somewhere in the map.
Yeah, Zerg is now dropping a bunch of hatches in the main. So they've gone up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hatches on 2 bases, and they've got double Evos. So I think it's going to be a lot of Hydras we're going to see here pretty soon.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to look pretty similar to Game 1. Unfortunately for Protoss. With these Zealots trying to cross the map again. I think those Legions have died to cannons or something. Which, you know, is definitely going to make Otto feel safer doing this.
There is enough Hydras out, though, that really these Zealots without speed, and I don't think they have +1. Okay, it's almost, it's like 2/3 done, so these Hydras, I think, are going to chase these Zealots. We'll see.
Yeah, I think by the time these Zealots get here, the Hydras are going to be 2. They're going to be 2 Hydras, but I think the Zealots are turning around. Oh, the Corsair finds an Overlord in the bottom left. Finally gets to fulfill its purpose. Templar and Storm are starting to come out. We saw Otto with some pretty good storms in the first game, so definitely looking forward to seeing that again. Zerg, this is looking very similar to the first game. Like, again, Zerg is not really expanding. Happy to sit on these 2 bases with all these hatcheries and pump out a bunch of Hydras.
Yeah, I think that can be a really strong strategy. You don't have to worry about defending so much. Yeah. If you're already ahead like this, why not? And then you're putting a lot of pressure on Protoss to match your investment in army. So Protoss now going for the Templar, but their gas is pretty limited because they're only on 2 bases. Yeah, that Corsair went down in the main to the spawn.
And we're seeing, like, the Robo come out at the same time. Like, so I think Otto must have practiced this build and just decided this is how they want to play PvZ. And we aren't seeing lurkers nearly as quickly as we did before. So maybe Protoss won't be getting contained here. Which would definitely be a big difference.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that would allow them to trade a lot better if there's no lurkers killing all their Zealots, right?
Exactly.
And so if these Zealots get out onto the map, they may be able to harass one of these new bases that bekrul is putting down. Oh, but there is a burrowed lane. That's nice, getting some scouting info.
Nice little trick there. Maybe we have a small group of Hydras coming out, but actually I think this Protoss army will just roll over this many Hydras.
So it looks like Otto is going to try to expand out to 12.
Yeah, I think this is the smarter choice. Like, you really want that gas as Protoss, and like the mineral only third is like also like in a more dangerous position. Like that's one thing that I feel strong about this map. Like, these mineral only bases, like on Polypoid, they are in a really important position and they're on a high ground. Like, so it's kind of okay to take those. But on good night, like the mineral only bases, they feel awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are going to have Protoss set up for that base. So Hydra's coming to try to deny it, but the Protoss army is here. Ooh, one Templar gets picked off right away.
Yeah, I don't know about that trade. You know, the Templar could have just stormed and killed that many Hydras anyway, right? So, but a lot of Hydras out now for the Zerg player, and they're kind of just stuck building Hydras. They haven't built any more drones for a little while, but they've got these 2 new bases up, and they've denied Protoss so far from taking a 3rd base. And are they going to counterattack the Nat here? There is no units defending it.
Yeah, this is definitely a dangerous position for Protoss, like trying to defend these 2 fronts at once.
Mm.
But it looks like they're going to stay on top of it for now. I really want to see some observers. Like, we had this river for a while. This is something, like, you just need to focus on getting out observers. Oh, here we go. We do have one with the army and one that's outside the natural. Ooh, some Templar get left behind. Some Hydra's going to come here to threaten this 3rd base. Oh, one storm whiffs.
Nice.
And the other Templar gets picked off.
Uh-oh.
But I think the army just moving here in time.
Okay, so here's the lurkers now coming out for Zerg. I worry because really, you know, these Hydra groups I think start losing their effectiveness eventually, right?
Yeah, like especially if they're split up like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you get like a huge arc with a giant ball of Hydras, they can do well on their own. But you really want to add lurkers. You really want to work up that hive tech at some point. We do have lurkers finally being morphed. The 3rd base is almost up for Protoss.
But this is a scary amount of lurkers, right? So
yeah. Oh my god, yeah. I didn't realize there were quite this many, so definitely going to be rough for Protoss to deal with. The thing is, though, this is a very wide open area. Protoss is not really contained inside their natural. So...
Are they just going to... Yeah.
Oh, and these lurkers are all super grouped up, so they're going to be very vulnerable to storms. There's also a DT here, which I don't see any any overlords nearby. Oh, the observer almost gets stormed, but it gets pulled out at the last second. And the lurkers deal a lot of damage, but they get cleaned up here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, those storms, man. Just destroying all the Zerg units. The DT must have died to splash, it looks like. Here's a reinforcing group of Zerg, though. Wow, that Overlord, the Observer is saving the day here. Wow, 5 more have been rallied over.
Yeah, okay, you can tell Otto's tired of losing to lurkers, like, right? Like, it's just, this is what I do. I just constantly queue up observers. It's also really good storms here, especially against the lurkers, but still, Zerg Army is dealing so much damage. We have Overlords here, but who cares if you can see the Dark Templar and they just kill you.
I gotta say, I think this favors Protoss. They've kind of broken out of the container at least a little bit. Oh, now they're forced back by this reinforcing Hydras. Yeah, they need to keep reinforcing their Zealots.
If these Templar keep dying, it's hard to build up energy. And then you have to build more Templar with the gateways, which means fewer ground units, which makes it easier for the Templar to die.
Yeah, it's like a repeating... Yeah, now the lurkers have set up around this... Protoss Nat. Yeah, they're gonna set up another one of those lurker containers.
No, please.
Your favorite. So.
Oh my god.
You'll be sleeping tonight dreaming about this. So.
Yeah, I have a nightmare. Just can't go out. The thing is, there is this 3rd base, so at least Protoss has the 3-base economy, but it's also gonna be really hard to defend this base. Like, you would need a ton of cannons if that's all you had to defend. Like, maybe if you could sneak a High Templar or 2 out there, it'd be good, but it's gonna be hard to pull off.
Build a gateway over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's some storms. Throwing in some Hydra. I think the hardest part about this, right, is for Zerg, they're really not having them micro. They just kind of have their lurkers and hydras stationed, and the Protoss has to do things and macro, right? So
right.
that's what makes this position so difficult. Zerg is kind of just rallying units across the map.
Yeah.
But Protoss is massing up the Templar.
Yeah, we saw this before. Like, Otto just keeps making zealots. You should just be making goons and Templar here, and like we even have the money to pay for goons instead. I think it's just a mistake to keep making zealots at this phase of the game. And the third base is going down. These cannons are fighting valiantly, but I think this third base...
Oh, Money Storm! Did you see
my
that?
God! Oh my God! So many Hydras are dead. Incredible. The storms have been good all series for Otto. Is it going to be enough to actually break out here and save the third base? Storms everywhere.
Well, Zerg supply is kind of plummeting right now. They need to get on top of these lurkers before the reinforcements arrive, I think. But this, the third base has been defended for Protoss. The cannons have bought enough time, and this push has attracted enough attention.
Lurkers, like, every single shot that they get off, just so much damage. There we go. Finally cleaned up. Protoss has paid a heavy price to get rid of these lurkers, but there's still Hydras coming. I'm trying to transfer. Very brave right now. A few probes go down. Alrighty. Thanks for the game. Now Otto's going to tap out. bekrul is going to take a 2-0. We never saw map 3 today. But finally, we do see a win on the board for UED. So the final score here in Tier 2 is going to be 3-1 in favor of GOSU. Well, thank you for casting with me, RoyalBlue. I think the next cast is scheduled for tomorrow for the match of the week. But we're going to try to cast every single game in the playoffs. So there's going to be lots of CPL to watch this week and next. So thank you for watching, everybody. Tune in next time. I'm going to find somebody to raid. Have a good night. Goodbye, everybody.